Going to go live. Alright, we are back with another episode of Survivors of Tarnstead. We're going to start in our usual manner of introduction. First up, we have Blackheart as
Keurig Marsk.
We have Kronos as
Shaksa and Rodskala.
We have Haddan as
Telda.
We have Sammy as
Gifton Brockren, Greysteel.
We have Tobias as
Louis Schwa.
And you have me, you as your friendly DM. Unfortunately, we are not going to be joined by Marcus as Corvus this week, as new job stuff, keeping him busy. But hopefully we'll have him back at some point.
Which means Louis Schwa's name will be pronounced properly the whole time.
Yes, and no one will die because of it.
I will definitely mispronounce your name. Just, it's required.
Now we sue.
Okay, miss.
Who would like to give the recap?
I can do it if nobody else wants, but I'm gonna do it wild and crazy.
I don't think I can cognitively do it, I'll be honest right now.
Alright. So I'm gonna give you the abbreviated version, which I know everyone appreciates. Last time we had combat. We fought Hevday. We were fighting Hevday because he was ordered to fight us by Scientist Man. Scientist Man come from the Science Land, where science and magic came together. Science Man decided, haha, I will walk past everybody and walk away. Louis cut him in half or something violent. It was dead. Anyway, so that set triggered that Hevday was supposed to explode or do some sort of self-terminate or something like that. There was brief panic. Everyone tried to figure out what to do. Telday and Shaxon and Carrick had amazing ideas of doing things with illusions to try and make the sounds of the voice of the guy saying, hey, don't do that order. Hevday responded to those. And then was like, seriously, do you think I'm that dumb? Of course I'm not going to kill myself. Telday went through the entire combat without wielding his weapon once, though he did use some very harsh words on his brother. That hurt very badly.
Those were some seriously nasty words, man.
Louis Schwa threw down heavily with the Titanic Metal Man. It was an epic battle, and Louis basically kept all of us from taking damage because... that was his mechanics, and he kept roaring at the guy, and the guy kept hitting him, and we just kept killing Louis, and eventually it got to a point where the mighty metal man was nearly defeated, but he still wasn't backing down. Telday, unfortunately, asked everybody to please leave the room while he tells his brother the story of 10,000 years. During the time, Sam typed that she was away in the bathroom, so when she came back, she continued to unload. So did everybody else, I guess, mostly. Except for Carrick. Carrick was a good boy.
Carrick walked away.
Yeah, I said Carrick was a good boy, as I recall. I had to re-listen to find out what happened to that part when I was in the bathroom.
I tried to walk away. He punted me into a wall.
He beat you up. Anyway, so when that didn't happen, Gifton ended up kneeling down and surrendering. Telday continued to give amazing words of encouragement to his brother, trying to get him to calm down. But Hevday fight. Hevday's gun jammed, explode. During that time, Carrick started talking to the corpse of the guy who died earlier. It was inhabited by the first dragon, the spiritual, or Speary, as I like to call them. They started to do the negotiations. After combat, Hevday started got a heal from Gifton, got lots of care from Shaxan, and Telday had some more words with him, but Hevday mostly was like, yeah, I just want to lay down right now because I hurt. And then Corvus and Carrick and Gifton were talking at the undead guy. Gifton was like, hey guys, get over here. Everybody came over. We talked really quick with the spiritual. We came to an agreement with it. The agreement is as follows: non-aggression pact, basically, between us, our children, and it, and the mind? The mental?
The mental.
But the mental isn't technically privy to this yet. The other agreements were that it would assist us versus its brother, the physical, on the basis that we would help it find a way to find nourishment without the cost of killing followers and causing madness, which honestly seemed kind of, well, it's very beneficial to us anyway, because we really just don't want it to hurt people. So we were like, yeah, sure, we could do that. It gave us an option of either finding out its brother's name, so we could use its name in combat, written on weapons, saying it out loud, blah, 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 or we could have it touch our soul. At the time, it seemed like a great idea to have it touch some people's souls to get that beneficial defensive bonus. Hindsight has, of course, made that go, wait, what was that idea? Oh, well, that's fine. We're doing that now. Hopefully, that can be removed. That should have been a question that I asked about at some point, but I didn't. But we found out the revelation Corvus is a dreamer mote, and Corvus found that out, and Corvus seemed pretty upset about it and wanted to talk to Gibson more about it. Carrick, Shaxon, Telde, and Louis Sois, I believe, got the ability to open themselves up to the first dragon to receive its beneficial effect to have some defense. It also kindly offered to keep the guy's soul in the body for us so we could take our time. We didn't really understand the breadth of that at the time, but Telde was like, sure. The other thing that was agreed upon was that it would bring back, it would properly put the souls into their proper bodies that were in the Warforges that were being forcibly combined. And then the 3 children woke up. Louis Sois got the young drow girl immediately and the young drow boy immediately, and was a familiar folk hero icon for them. Very heroic. They were excited to meet Louis Sois, and they knew that he was going to keep them safe, even though that they were dealing with some very tragic times of their village burned down. Gifton, meanwhile, dealt with the little lizard girl. I think it was a lizard girl. It was a lizard child, and unfortunately, the lizard child thought Gifton was an angel taking her to heaven. But Gifton assured her, no, that's not what's going to happen, and wrapped her up, and they all started carrying everybody to the front of the building. We were kind of just clearing everything out, and had all of our prisoners bagged up. We had resurrected the one science guy. He's bound and gagged. And we have a slight mission to go beneath the lab into the lower part and break a orb that has a bunch of the power infused inside of it from the first dragon, and that will.
I was gonna say that was actually being worked on while you guys were doing the stuff with the kids. Me and Carrick and Corvus were going over and starting to deal with that.
Yeah, you guys went off to go start to deal with that, so we were waiting at the front. We do know that the 2 battery rooms did not get cleared yet, and Hevday is unconscious, resting in the back, and that's where we left off, I think.
Okay, pretty nice. Go ahead and take a heroic inspiration for me.
Heroic?
Yes.
Yeah. I'll take heroic. Yeah. I can't have a heroic.
Okay.
Why did you do this to me?
You can have it. I'm upping your guys' hand limits to your proficiency modifiers.
Oh, okay.
Oh, cool. Wow, that's much higher.
Yay!
That doubles it effectively.
Yeah. Right.
Well, not effectively, exactly.
Except for me.
Okay.
Oh, that's a really smart idea. I should have done that in my game.
In the control room, I know, right? It works.
Yeah, it's like, oh, well, that balances out really well. Damn it.
In the control room, you're there tapping away at the consoles. You've got to deactivate the field to access the orb and so on. Where Corvus actually pauses, his hands resting on the terminal, and you can tell he looks troubled, as much as Corvus ever does. That sort of silent, reserved angst, and he looks over at both of you and goes, "I think I need some answers."
I can understand that.
Do tell the others I will be safe and I will be back soon.
Yes, we will. You know how to get a hold of us when you need.
I will be back. And and with that, he actually opens up a rift into the empty and steps through. And like Corvus, if you hear this later, we're gonna have a little private get together at some point.
I yell as it opens, "Hi, Dreamer!" No.
Hello.
Yay!
Hello.
Hey, it's safe to go in there and talk again because we now know more that they're not causing what supposedly you're supposed to cause. So.
Going through the systems, now that you've actually got time to look properly and it's not trying to,
Kill me.
evaporate your soul, you can actually find shutdown procedures. Not just for the field, but the item that is apparently down there.
Mm-hmm.
I assume you'd like to?
Yeah, I'm probably going to do item first and then the field.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you start to shut it down, and it takes a bit of time. It's not exactly a quick switch.
Mm-hmm.
Telde, you're back with Day still?
Yes, I am in the room with Hevday and the 6.
Yeah, the 6 Warforged sitting. Glancing over at them, there's something catches your notice. Something seems different, and you actually have to think about it. What has changed since you last looked at them? And you realize when you had entered the room and throughout the fight, their eyes were alight, as most of your kinds are. Now they are off. There is no light.
I'm going to get closer and inspect this one, I guess, probably, because it would be the closest.
Okay, you start looking them over. On the physical side, they seem intact. You can tell their models are somewhat different construction methods, but they're all forged all the same. There's a brief moment of alarm where you check over one of the arms and a long blade pops out. Just the activation method going off, it seems. But exploring over it, this is a dead Warforged. There doesn't seem to be any signs of life.
Were they strapped in, or they were just sitting there normally? I'm going to slowly lift each of them out of the chairs and kind of lay them out at the back wall.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
and then I'm also going to go find the other 3.
Okay. The ones taking the kids outside, or the ones at the control panel?
The other 3 Warforged bodies that are no longer in use. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they seem much the same.
And I will take them and also put them with the others.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, you arrange them all very nicely in a row at the back wall. There you go. So you spend some time moving them. Outside, those that have taken the kids, as you're going through this area, the strange animate corpses that Corvus seem to have summoned up crumble. They just collapse down.
Whoa!
Oh, thank God.
Marvis! Your buddies fell down!
Hadwin, however, is just standing there still.
Corvus?
Hey, did you start trying?
No, he is not writing now.
Okay.
Corvus? You feeling that way?
Did we ever figure out if we can hear if they're up there and we're over here?
If they're taking, if they're in here, yeah, they can yell down the hallway. If you want to head outside with the kids, no.
Well, are we in here? Are we in this area when that happens?
You were outside. You could see through the torn open door.
Okay, well, I'll kind of go in a bit and go, Corvus!
That you can hear.
I'm guessing he had already.
Yes.
Yeah, he would have.
He went to try to find some answers, I believe, on what he has found.
All right, well, is the dead things are dead again? I'm gonna look at the kid I'm packing and give them a dear hug and go. How about you stay over here with my friend Dingus for a minute, and he's gonna watch over you, and then I'm gonna clean up a little bit in there, okay? You alright?
Okay.
You be super brave with Dingus for me?
They're looking at Dingus in a mix of concern and wonder. You know how kids are.
Yeah. Big ass feather dragon fluff ball that Dingus is right now.
And Dingus, to his credit, is being super friendly.
Yeah.
Like he's just puffing up, wiggling a bit, just trying to make a show. He's
trying to look adorable.
Kids much smaller than him.
Yes.
I'm imagining him being like toothless right now.
So I'm going to set the kid down and give a wary look at Louis as I go in, and then I will move the bodies up against a wall respectfully.
Okay.
Are the prisoners?
The prisoners will be outside, so yeah.
That's what I was gonna say. Are they in the room still, or are they outside?
I'm assuming we'd have everybody outside. We wouldn't want the living staring at the dead. So yeah, I will go and start moving bodies around because I'm big and strong. So I'll just start picking them up and piling them down.
As you as well are moving the bodies, Louis, the two drow children seem to be quite attached to you.
Yep.
You're a bit of heroic folklore in their lives, and they find safety in your presence.
I'm going to move them into the main room where she is moving bodies out of the way, and I'm going to whistle for Tressa.
Okay. Your griffin will flutter on down.
And I'm going to peel kids off and just go, give me a moment. And I'm going to go rooting through the saddlebags, pull out a couple, 3 rations, 1 for each kid because I figure they might be hungry. And then I'm going to dig out the tent that I have, and I'm going to set it up for them.
You want to do this in the room where she's moving the bodies? Or do you want to do this outside where the other lizard child is?
It's daytime outside, isn't it?
Yes.
What's moving what were ghouls and other dead bodies in there?
Yeah, I'll take the kids outside.
Okay, so Tessa will flip on out, and you can start setting up the tent outside. The kids do take the rations, and there's a bit of hesitance in eating them at first before they start to devour them quite hungrily.
I hope you like a young innkeeper from a town up north made those for me. If you like them, let me know, and I'll let her know, and she might get you. She might be able to get you some more.
There's a sort of silent nodding of stuffed cheeks as the bodies are being moved inside. Jackson, you finish disabling the item under the field, and the base goes, and as that little red lights come on, as it seems to go into a low power mode.
About to write down for the power to start going out.
It looks like this was probably the main power source.
I just want to interject one thing. You're not streaming.
Oh, whoopsie!
I just checked because I was trying to turn my phone on and I have it muted, so it would have a thing.
Okay, now that we are live, quick recap. Everyone's introduced themselves. We had a recap of last week. Telday started moving bodies of the Warforged into a respectable position. Shaxton and Carrick are shutting down the main reactor-ish thing. Corvus has gone into empty to find answers about his state of self. Gifton is moving the reanimated ghouls and has made sure the lizard folk child is safe outside with Dingus, and Louis Soir is doing the same with the drow children outside as well.
Yeah, we'll have it in the local recording. It's fine.
No, we won't. I don't have it.
Oh, I do.
Okay, good. There we go.
I'm the backup.
Yeah.
Lizard folk with the drow children as well?
Yes. Yeah. Well, not directly with them. The lizard folk is somewhat enamored with Dingus, but they're in the same area. Okay. Yes, the base power seems to go into a lower power mode. You suspect maybe being kept only by the reserves that were exploding earlier.
Can I, if I look over the edge, can I see the item that was described?
Yes, it is no longer glowing horrendous purple.
Okay. I'm guessing I need to hop down to...
If you want to turn the field off and hop on down, then indeed you can.
When you're ready, I can hop on down there.
Slash will nod and turn the field off.
Okay.
I'm gonna hop on down and
The orb down here is set into a metal device, 3 prongs, seemingly plugging into it physically.
I'm going to attempt to unplug.
Okay. With your draconic strength, it proves no issue. You suspect this might have actually required some assistance from tools for someone normal, but you are able to pull them straight out and free the orb. It's sizable. It's about the size of a beach ball.
Okay.
How many Hexenrackers did it take to put in an orb?
Quite a few.
They couldn't remember how to keep it off. And if I remember correctly, the spiritual told us that we could
break it,
shatter it,
yeah. Crush it. You can do it. Use your arms. You're fat.
If you're looking at the orb closer, you can see it is inscribed in depth. There are magical runes etched into its glassy surface, and as you peer closer, beneath as well, there seems to be like crystalline structure, only in rune form.
Copy it down.
First, I'm gonna find out if I can read what ring.
Yes, you can. It is draconic. It's draconic.
Ancient? Or
no, modern.
Okay.
It is very modern, very modern Hexenreich magical scripture.
Yeah, I'm going to grab my spell shard because I have lots of stuff open in it still, and I'm going to start recording into the spell shard.
Okay. I will tell you, if you want to do that, when I say inscribed, I am talking about very, very small and covering the entirety and inside. It will take you quite a while.
Can
you want to do
I
it?
Figure out what they say to begin with?
In the sense. It's not as if it's written sentences. This is like mathematical formula using draconic runes.
How long do I think it'll take?
Can you lift the orb up?
Oh yes, easily.
Why don't just bring it up here to the other to the scientist upstairs?
The only thing I'm thinking, I'm trying to remember, and I should have re-listened to this, but now that this came out, it becomes different. He just said that we need to destroy it. He didn't say immediately.
He didn't give you any time frame.
He didn't give us a time frame, but I mean,
remember he was dealing very much of there's no conditions, no. Well, he didn't specify no rush, but he said he was just going to trust you, have faith in what you're doing.
Faith would be probably destroying it sooner than later.
Well, yeah, I was just more make sure we don't have.
But right as for how long, you think you could rush through and maybe do this in a day? To be comfortable and make sure you're making no errors, a couple.
Would it take a little longer to actually physically write them out? As opposed to spell shard?
No, not really. A lot of people can write faster than they can speak.
Okay. I actually think it might be better to write it just because...
Other question would be about half the time if he brought it up and we both were writing from like different sides.
Not really, because you want to find you could, but then you have to find where you've ended and begun, so you don't overlap. You know.
Yeah.
I'm sure you two could figure it out, so I'd let you have a roll to do so.
Okay. Well, I'm guessing there's enough space for me to actually fly out of here.
Yes.
Instead of having to climb out. So I'm gonna fly my way out. I think we may want to. Record what this has on it before we destroy it. I'm gonna hold up the orb with the draconic on it. It's a lot here.
Give it a small peer and just go. No, you're not kidding. There's many things on that.
Yeah, the closest thing you've seen with intricacies like that, this Jackson are computational jewels or the magical computer-like systems that Hexenreichers use, which is taking power and directing it along predefined algorithms.
Just giving it. Do you want me to do an intelligence just for like a cursory look over, seeing like maybe some of it has shit in common?
You can go ahead. Give me an Arcana roll.
Okay.
I'd only ask if I could assist, but I don't know any of that type of stuff. So, love it.
Yeah, it's not trying to make the job easier. It's just basically a hey.
It's the same foundations, just incredibly more complex.
Mm-hmm. That's what I figured. Just figured him getting the idea on that would be a good thing.
Yeah. Okay. You guys have done that. Gift and Telday, you have finished moving your respective bodies. Louis, while the children are now in that tent you have set up. Not quite sleeping, but quiet, contemplative, you know.
I'm going to look at Dingus, who I'm assuming is still with the little lizard child.
Dingus is sort of nuzzling against the lizard child who is petting him along that big snout.
Did the lizard kid go into the tent as well?
Nope. Lizard child is still out.
I'm going to look at the little kid and go, I have the tent set up if you want it. And I'm going to look at the pseudo dragon. If you would, when you have a chance, get them inside and guard them, please.
Dingus' eyes seem to glitter and his wings extended a little bit and his chest puffs as if, of course.
And then I'm looking at Tressa.
Yes, God.
You're the first line. Guard them. All of them.
Tressa trills at you.
And then I'm going to go back inside and going to help the angel move bodies.
Okay, you head inside and she's about done. You can see unfortunate bloody trails leading over to where she's moved them, but they seem to be in a respectable position now rather than just crumpled on the floor.
And closing their eyes and putting their arms in good spots and that stuff. Because Gifton actually spent a lot of time with an Amor priest, so yeah.
Yeah.
Respect to the dead, I know it, yo. I'm going to look at Louis Soir. Why are you out here?
Because I'm helping.
What about the prisoners?
What prisoners?
The ones
You have a prisoner?
Yeah.
Two.
Three
Three prisoners.
Yeah.
Oh, did anyone tell me to guard them?
I said watch them as I left, and I meant the kids.
Oh, I thought you meant the kids.
No, I meant everything. It's like, he wants the kids up. I'm gonna go back outside because I'm done with the body.
Oh, well, Tressa will get them if they wander off.
I mean, they're tied up pretty good. I'm pretty sure they're not wandering anywhere.
Gifton's still gonna go back outside.
One's the manacles and the other two are probably hog tied.
She's dealt with them and the bodies, and she has no love of this building, so she's gonna go outside with Dingus and the little kid. And just give a nod at Louis Soir as she gives him wide berth on the way out. That's scary.
And then there's Tressa.
That also is also traumatizing because we were actually attacked by griffins, and they are part cat.
Yeah. As you head outside Gifton, you can see the little lizard folk laughing a little bit as he's sort of on top of Dingus's muzzle and Dingus is bouncing him slightly. Very gentle up motions.
Aww. Looks like you have a fan.
And Dingus lets out the fine meat of an enlarged pseudo dragon.
Do you want to sit on his saddle?
Hey, can I?
Yeah, here, let me help you up. We'll help him up on
He
the
will
saddle.
not fly, will he?
Oh no, he won't fly. You won't fly, right, sweetie?
Dingus shakes his head.
Yep, he's just gonna he'll walk around as fast as you're okay with, okay? You tell him stop, he'll stop.
And
yeah,
you
get
can
pony
get
rides.
the folk up, yeah, and get pony rides. Very, very slow pony rides at first.
Very gentle pony rides.
Hefday is going to open his eye, well, light his eyes up, I should say, and Telday, you just hear a ow.
Ow.
Yeah, when they were bringing other tracks, they've done way good to make it so they could still move, but can't do much to really take away some of the pain currently.
I gave him 70 hit points. I really don't. I mean, it's just pretty much just he just needs hit points at this point.
Yeah, it's more just things hurt rather than
He
He
has like 500 hit points. He's down to like sub 100 right now, so he is in a painful way, but that's just gonna take time. You did a great job fixing him up and keeping him stable.
He's going to sit up, and as he does, Telday, you see his gaze going towards the warforged that you've laid out.
While I am laying them, or shortly after I finished laying them out, I would kind of comment to nobody in particular that I have no true inclination toward any of you up there, but I ask that those who can watch over the souls wherever they may be. Much as I may care for my people, the atrocities that swell our ranks cannot stand. They be allowed to return to their lives is only right.
Telday, what's your passive perception?
37.
Okay, Jesus Christ almighty. Telday,
Yes.
there's no one there, but you swear you feel a comforting squeeze on your shoulder. Very gentle, light one.
That said, there are now 9 vessels, which perhaps they could be put to use for others.
Who are you talking to?
I do not know. Myself, I suppose. It is common. I have had to do it for a long time.
I think we have existed for the same amount of time, more or less. I do not speak to myself.
I have existed far longer than you, in a sense. I went back quite some time.
And I remember far back, and you have been far back. The words hurt, brother.
I am sorry. I was hoping to keep you from the others.
They would not hurt if they were out without merit, though.
They were unnecessarily harsh and not full of truth.
I think I punched your Leonin friend in the face 5 times. That could be considered unnecessarily harsh as well. Perhaps we can forgive.
Just like the comparison.
I only just met him today, anyways. We were not
Then you will
terribly
begrudge
close. No.
I might not. I might.
You came out here to find me or the doctor?
My official mission was him. My intention was you.
He had heard rumors of your search, your pursuit. He was prepared. It was insufficient. You have come quite some way.
I suppose. Yes.
Do you know of our true nature?
We are bound souls from another time, another
Yes.
place. You have memories.
Clear ones. The entity that dwelt within this building, it offered me clarity. Healing of wounds and scars of the mind, of the soul.
It has made a similar offer to me.
It can be overwhelming.
I do not think I can take the same path. I have lived this life too long. Feels like the other is indeed another. and should be over.
He just inclines his head a little bit. As you say, I must ask, what do you intend to do with me?
Offer you freedom. Offer you salvation. Offer you a home if you so wish. I somehow have lands, if that is what you want.
Do you believe in fate, brother?
I did not before, but there are many things that have inclined me to opening toward the possibility.
I am inclined to believe in it. This body, this form that I have been given. It is warlike. It is for fighting. As I was in a previous life. I was a warrior. A great, great warrior. I relish battle, and I do now. I have been granted a form that is fit for purpose. I do not wish to settle down in your holdings.
Well, I can bring you as well. We are preparing for quite a dangerous one, an important one. And we could use allies.
There is some creaking as he raises his body up, an impressive feat for his size. And as he stands, he looks down at you once more. Can you promise me glory?
Now that is something I can promise.
Then, be it glorious victory or glorious death, perhaps I shall come with you.
That is a comfort.
And one of those large hands reaches out and just claps you on the back, a resounding clang of metal, and your body is jolted forward somewhat. Good. I have no things to collect. Though you and yours may wish to look through this facility, there are items.
I am sure that the others are.
You intend to take the... And he actually looks over at the bodies you've laid out. The shells with you.
I do not think so. Do you have a preference?
In the old days, there would be fire and song. They will not burn well.
Hey, we burned one in a different game.
Yeah, it smelled like rubber.
That was awful.
What rights do you use now?
I have not really followed the ways. I am not well in tune with the gods here.
Then perhaps your companions will know what to do. So I must ask, the ones that were seated, what caused their death? They were living when I was awake.
They are no longer bound. I do not know what became of them. The other three returned to their original state.
The ones in here, their bodies were already burned. Perhaps their souls have departed where they belong.
Man, we know there's like only one Amor Angel that's allowed to get in spitting distance of us. Got his hands full right now. Assuming he can even get on Heia's land.
No, Angel can right now.
Mm-hmm.
I do not think I can verify what became of them at this time. There may be others I can contact later.
Would it bring you comfort to know what happened to them? You hear a female voice saying from the doorway.
I cannot make that guarantee, but it is my preference.
Stepping into the room, seems to be a small figure, clad in black, layered black, a sort of feathery cowl over their shoulders, a hood up, and a scythe.
I really misheard that for a second there. I did not hear a cowl.
More.
Yes.
That's fitting for the DM.
A scythe, the blade of which seems to be stylized into a raven's beak. And she just sort of holds it planted on the floor.
Are you related to Corvus?
Funny. No, I am Usglas. And I have seen to the... You need it typed?
Oh no, it's my character! My character's back! You don't need Usglas's name.
Okay.
You don't need Usglas.
I'll go get it.
I'll
I'll have access to that.
You'll have access to that.
6 within this room were severed, and I have guided them to where they belong. Young and too soon, but to a place they will be happy.
There you go, Blackheart.
It's fine if you look at that one. I'm in there right now.
Yeah, you're in there, but you wouldn't see my character sheet.
It
But I
is.
can see your character name underneath you.
Yeah, but I logged in. So...
Yeah.
Yeah. I wanted to
It
make sure I had
is
the bond right.
unfortunate.
Unfortunate. Yes. Always is. Still, while immortal angels may be forbidden from this land, the work still continues. Always does.
I have not made it any easier for you here.
This is easy compared to what I have had to do before. And this is right. So, your party, you have garnered much attention. I do not think it is too out of line for me to talk to you.
You are not the first that I have conversed with.
And I'm sure I will not be the last.
That is definitely my hope.
Then, I would like to pass on a message, if you would, please.
Yes, I do believe that I shall not have any memory errors.
You are all to be called on soon. I am one of the ones that will be delivering the message, considering how out of bands you are right now. Not today, but it is soon. If you'd all like to prepare yourselves for a meeting with the gods.
am unsure how we can.
I wish I could advise you on that. So, for knowing, even if you cannot prepare properly, it is still useful.
Yes. It is appreciated.
And if you'll excuse me, I must return to my duties.
Is there anything I can do in gratitude for your actions?
No. My duty changes not at all, whether there is gratitude or none. But I appreciate the thought. And like that, she is gone. A blink and he's no longer standing there.
Was that in my mind, or did that actually happen?
Did what happened?
Well, that is certainly concerning.
I jest. She was standing there.
Oh my god, he has a sense of humor.
I love
It
this
seems
Warforged.
that none of us have a proper sense of humor.
I mean,
My sense of humor is immaculate and grand.
Ah,
He's an
you
ass!
are excellent at lying.
Oof. Tilde continues to throw shade well after combat.
Tell yourself that, brother. You should have asked her what is the right passage for these bodies.
Yes, I should
I can tell her
have.
that you were awestruck. So simple. And he is actually going to move over and very gingerly start picking one of them up. Perhaps burial then.
It's not like you raised any questions or said anything.
I am not part of your grand adventuring party that apparently has the attention of the gods. It was not my place.
Also, I was setting up a great joke where I was pretending I didn't see her.
Besides,
Comedy
Why-
is important, okay?
why would I rob myself of the joy of watching you embarrass yourself?
Oh man, have they? Glorious bastard, have they?
If they, it's so distant, but you're starting to get some real memories from your early days.
Stop hitting yourself. Stop hitting
I
yourself.
was a dick.
okay, early days as Telday.
So
Yes.
was Hefday the one that every time they were lining up always made sure to step on at least a couple people's feet at the same time? Like there was
To
room,
be
but
fair,
no.
it wasn't
But maybe
fully
some
intentional.
nudging and shouldering.
I was just I see Hevday being the one going, no, this is my spot now.
Just
I'd also
refusing to
being on and
move.
making sure. I can see him on making sure the cannon's at such an angle that when he has to turn, it whacks someone in the head.
Yeah, yes, Tilde, you remember some tormenting, some butting heads, but you also remember if there was a test that might cause physical damage, he was always first to step forward as well. Yes, yes, perhaps we should bury them.
Yes, that does seem appropriate.
Good. I am sure your meager little arms can carry one.
Oh, do you need that much assistance? And here I thought you were so willing to do things on your own.
There is that chuckle coming from him as he picks up a couple of the Warforged, holding them very gently in his arms, and he just starts to walk through the corridors. Okay. In the control room, you have retrieved the jewel, giving it a cursory glance over. Are you keeping it intact for now?
Yes, 'cause it's gonna take a day. Does it look like do I believe it'd be safe in an extra dimensional space, aka bag folding?
Between you and Shaxton, there isn't anything on this that would belie it being dangerous. No more than any other magical item stored away that isn't extra planar.
I've kind of shoulders the bag of holding and the haversack. Unless you would like to carry it, I can put it in one of the
Actually, Blingo. And if you don't feel comfortable in a bag of holding, I do have a normal backpack on me.
How
That's
fragile
what I was
does
trying.
it seem? Like, does it
what?
seem like fragile? Like, is this something if we accidentally hit a wall, it's gonna break? Or is this something that's gonna take some work to crack? Like, purposely?
It's big.
It's not ultra delicate, like it's not going to shatter at the faintest thing, but you do believe this would chip. This could be damaged.
Mm-hmm. I think it'd be better in the bag. I do not want to put it in my haversack with having an Oculus to the physical in that. That might be a bad combination.
Very smart. Well done.
I looked at my inventory to see which bag which was in.
Jax will
Now I'm sad.
unfold his own bag of holding and open it up.
I'll toss it in yours then. I will.
Not a literal toss, I'm hoping.
No, it's Carrick. He's really strong. He's lobbed.
Kobe.
Okay, I will pull it out of my bag.
Nothing but net.
Okay.
I got a bag and a haversack, so.
As you're storing it away, you hear the heavy of Hevday coming down the corridor.
Sounds like he is back up. Guess I did not hear anything, so I'm guessing he did not.
I don't think they're at the point of attempting to kill each other yet.
Greetings.
Greetings.
Hello there.
Um,
I see the temporary repairs are enough to get you up and mobile, so that is good.
Yes, you do sufficient work.
Well, it's rush of the moment things. It would be better once I can actually get you into somewhere I can do better repairs.
You both fought valiantly. I hope there are no hard feelings.
None.
Where is your Leonin companion?
I believe he is outside. Are they both together, or did Hevday get ahead? I don't know.
That depends how they did you want to follow close behind?
No, I'll probably be a bit further behind than that.
Okay.
Carrying very gingerly, trying to be careful, trying not to slam that head into every doorway as you carry the body.
Or even if you know the rights of this land.
I'm gonna make a religion.
Yeah, that'd be a religion check, right?
It would. Yeah.
Do I get advantage since it's tied to my deity? Or is it a normal roll?
You get normal.
Okay.
I'd be tied to the DT, but you're not that educated yet.
Okay, I just figured I'd double check.
Okay. As far as you're aware, there isn't any preferred modern method. They tend to dispose of bodies in whatever way would be good to make sure there isn't any disease or such passing. So burial, burning, even at sea.
Here it's whatever would make sure that diseases were not passed. Burning, burial, sea, although we are far from that.
No. The bodies that occupied these were of this land. I think it is fitting for their rights to be respected.
Yes. Do you need assistance in bringing the others?
Yes, as my brother is not as strong as I think more help would be welcome.
Okay.
This asshole.
Crap. There's a small door here. Damn it.
Yes, there is. You cannot drag your way through.
I mean, technically,
I mean, you can if you want to damage the facility somewhat.
I can squeeze because I'm.
I don't think we give much of a shit about damaging the facility. Someone just let it take a doorway
yes.
down.
Are you guys going to head back and start helping with that?
Yes, I am. I'm not going to. That is Shax's choice if he does, but I am going to go assist.
Jax is going to look and go, I know where my strengths lie within, and strength is not one of them. I will stay here and see if I can pull any other information off this machine before we go.
Very well. And he continues on his path. Carrick, you start heading back, and we'll pass Toll Day.
I am going to assist you and Hevday in bringing the others out. I'm going to go carry some.
Thank you.
Telda having a series of moments of attempting with the body and finally just ending up with him dragging him by the foot and the head rattling around. And series of moments of trying to hit the shoulder and then trying to fire him and carry it.
Strangely enough, Warforged was dead. All of those inner supporting systems just seem to go away, and they're like trying to carry an empty suit of armor.
Let's try to carry Kid.
I like to think that they're just basically like ragdoll in most physics engines.
Dead weight.
Yeah.
Oh my
Come on, I just hook one onto one shoulder pad and hook another onto my other shoulder pad, and
Like Gary's Mog ragdolling is basically what's going on.
I'm imagining Weekend at Bernie's.
Yeah. No, Bernie was a little bit more stiff.
Yeah,
I mean, that depends.
Oh, start moving them out. Gifton and Louis Soir. You do see Hev Day, and soon after, Tel Day, and then Carrick coming out carrying these Warforged bodies.
How many can I carry?
You could do one per arm. It's not graceful, but you can do it. You don't quite have his size to support them properly.
Yeah. I will note something. Gifton hasn't stopped glowing.
Yeah. So glowy.
That doesn't turn off now.
As Hevday comes outside, he nods at you, Gifton, sets the two Warforged down onto the sand, and then turns to look at Louis Soir. Leonin.
Robot.
You fought well.
As did you. Though I must say the blindside blow that knocked me into the wall was quite interesting.
I felt that you deserved all measures.
I thank you for that. Fighting at half measure does not do one well if one is trying to survive.
Indeed. I hope that there are no hard feelings between us. My repeated blows to your face were a sign of respect.
Uh-huh.
It just sounds like the
and I guess me trying to carve out the core of your being is a sign of respect?
Of course. I would expect no less from a valiant foe.
Hard feelings are reserved for those who pass away. We don't have time for that.
Good. You. Angel. Your sword hurts.
I don't usually use swords. I'm more of a bow girl, but you know.
And I am glad I did not meet you on an open field.
Yeah, it's a good thing it wasn't a distant fight. What's going on with these?
We figured that our brethren deserved burial, as their souls were from this land.
Oh, did they get past?
And he looks over his shoulder as Carrick and Telday are coming out, and nods towards Telday. The 6 in the room, their bodies were departed, and thus their souls were taken. We were visited by a strange figure. She reassured us of their journey.
I can move the sands around to cover them. I can bury them if we get them all out here first. I'd like to do it at once, if that's all right.
That is fine with me, he says, looking at Telday.
Yes, agreed.
Should we bury the Hexenreikers as well?
I care not for the Hexenreikers. That is down to you.
They have succumbed to madness, and that's terrible, but they mattered to somebody.
Yes.
I'm gonna kind of look over at checks, and because I think you came out too, didn't you?
Check to stay behind on the computer system.
Oh, okay.
See if we can pull any other information out of it.
If Shaxon would probably be the best to ask what type of rites to be done for the Hexenreikers. They are still his countrymen, so.
If you are to bury them, I recommend that you take their arms and armor. You would not want them to go to waste.
Yes, and I would not send them off to the lands of the dead ready to fight their kid. Oh.
That does make me curious if there is a soul war going on up there.
Geth is gonna glance around and go, there isn't a tree anywhere, is there?
Not that I am aware.
Louie's going to look at her. I didn't see a tree for miles.
I can... Oh,
There are some cacti.
Any really
Does
tall
that even
ones?
count as a tree?
I don't need a tree. I need big plant. I need something about 6 feet at least. 8 would be better.
I mean, I can always do my trick and...
Behind that rocky outcropping, about half a mile, there is a small group around a small body of water.
Good. I can work on that then. Well, let us handle this first, and then we can work on transporting.
If it is a cactus, if you don't know what those are, and please don't mind me, a cactus, don't get too close to them. They are very stabby.
It's fine. We're just going to touch it a little bit, and then you're going to run into it. All right, so...
I'm literally giving Head Day a look like...
I can touch a cactus just fine. I see no concern.
Yeah, grow some thick skin.
What have I gotten myself into?
Gonna look at hand, turn it into Dragon Claw. Dragon hand for a moment, I'm pretty sure.
I'm the only one that needs to touch it. The rest of you idiots just need to run into it, remember?
What's the difference?
To your Hexen like a companion.
Try to do that again, GM.
Do you want me to go talk to your Hexen like a companion?
I'm gonna
You mean
look at-
Shaxan? The Dragonborn?
Dragonborn, yes.
If you want to.
If he wishes to see his countrymen disposed of in the appropriate fashion, I believe they prefer fire. There are flammable liquids stored.
Also, we need to ascertain if there were any more people in the base and check it for anything. I will stay out here and prepare to cover the bodies of the Warforge and keep an eye on the kids and the prisoners. Were there more in the base? Do we know of? Do we have a head count?
If you want to have taken a head count of the bodies, you can.
I mean, we probably would. I was piling them up,
yeah.
so.
Right, and you tell him the number.
Yeah.
He paused, and I can assume you're including the ones that were outside.
Yeah,
and
we're the
everything.
ones outside, and
the
that we
one
know
that we
one
know
ran
got
away.
away.
Yeah.
Then, accounting for the collected dead, the prisoners, and the escapee, there is one unaccounted for.
Probably
in those battery rooms.
Battery rooms.
Yeah.
Battery rooms.
Mm-hmm.
They
Lieutenant Grace was stationed in the battery rooms.
Do you see him among the dead?
No.
All right. Okay, sweetie. Why don't you stay here for a minute? And who wants to? Oh, you know what? Telday got to blow up once. Corvus got to blow up once.
I blew up once.
You blew up once.
do you want me to?
I can do it again if you wish.
Well, why don't you see to things here for a bit? And are you gonna? All right, Dingus, you keep watch. We're gonna hold the form a little bit longer, okay? You gotta watch after the kid, okay?
You're getting flashes of no blow up.
No blow up. No blow up.
He's very concerned about you.
Do you want me to do it?
No, you're my son. It'll be fine. All right, so we'll be right back.
You do not look related.
He's adopted.
Ah.
Can you tell the difference? They seem to be about the same.
She is fast and glowing. He is small.
Depends on the day.
He also has draconic lineage. He does not appear to.
Also,
I'm not his grandmother's favorite. All right, come on.
Are you unable to tell them apart, brother?
I'm gonna actually head in with Gifton because just in case something else happens.
I will
don't
have
know.
your assistance. We're gonna tear these doors open because they were
Unable
ripped
is a
from the
strong word.
explosions.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not telling you you can't help me. I just don't want you to be the only one doing it.
Yeah.
So I'll go with you. So we will go tear these doors open and see what's in the battery rooms.
Actually, before we tear the doors open, I'm gonna try listening at the door to see if I can, at Which door do we want to deal with first?
Let's do number 3 first, just arbitrarily. That seems
number
like
3.
I'm going to just listen at the door. Let's see.
Okay. You did hear movement on the other side.
I hear movement behind there.
All right. Well, let's open it up.
Do we want to prepare to?
How about I tear the door, you hold person?
Okay.
Can you do that?
I have a couple uses left in the staff.
All right, that would be fine. You can do that. That will save me having to actually cast real spells.
Actually, how small can I make? Actually, it's the same charges, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's a being wall of force, so.
Yeah, but I don't want him to die. He'll still die if he's in wall of force.
No, I was going to wall of force him away from it.
Oh, okay. Well,
Right.
the bat.
Okay.
So we'll just rip it out. I'm ripping it out.
Yeah.
We can hold person.
Right,
Okay.
so you rip the door open. I assume you're doing hold person the moment you see him.
Yep.
Monster, yeah.
Hold monster. Okay. So immediately you see him seemingly crouching down near this tank. It looks like one of these other military scientists, this lieutenant. And I'm not even going to bother trying to roll against that. He fails. And suddenly he's frozen in position. His hand reaching out, seemingly drawing markings on the floor in blood. You can see dripping from his arm. Seems to be circles that then connect up through other sigils to the arcane tank here.
Huh. Okay. I'm just gonna casually, while he's frozen, just kind of pick him up.
You see fear
I'm
in
just
his
gonna start
eyes.
walking him out of the room. Like it's like when he's like a statue or a standee. I'm just moving him like he's a piece of furniture because he's frozen and he can't do anything. And then just casually take him outside. And when we get out to the sand, I'm gonna lay him down gently, and then I'm gonna take out some of those manacles we have, and I'm gonna manacle his hands very quietly. And I'm gonna get a piece of cloth out, got a handkerchief, and I'm gonna just gag him a little bit, give him a little tussle of the hair. Yeah, you're gonna be just fine, buddy. It's okay. We got you.
Eric, are you going out with her, or are you looking at this room?
No.
Break that sigil, please.
Yeah, I'm gonna. First, I'm gonna check the sigil.
Actually,
real
it's probably
quick.
one of those things if you break the sigil and it explodes, but yeah.
Yeah. So.
Are you checking it real quick? Arcana roll, please.
Okay.
Damn blood magic.
This looks like it's a teleportation circle. Only the runes that are running to the tank seem like it's trying to draw power from the tank rather than the caster's own power.
Oh, smart kid.
Looks like he may have been trying to get out.
Okay. Is this door functional?
Do you want to try it and see?
Like I'm gonna it's not damaged.
We
I'm
know
looking to see
this
if
one
it's
was buckled.
damaged.
That's why I just tore into
Yeah,
it.
this one's buckled. This one is undamaged.
Okay. I just wanted to check to make sure he didn't like damage the door or something to make sure someone couldn't come in the other way. Okay. Since I know that, I am going to clear it off just so in case someone gets the idea that we, to try it again, we're gonna not.
Okay, you get rid of that quite easily.
Okay, and then was it a full circle? I cast it. Like he hadn't gotten all the stuff into it. Had he?
The circle was complete. He was finishing off the runes that were leading to the tank.
Actually, before I pressed it, I'm going to hit the button just because I need the thing. So I'm not.
Are you thinking where's it going?
I am going to learn it because I don't think you can tell where it goes to, but I can find out if other people do know. And where the bloody heck did I? Yeah, there it is.
Try to figure
I
out
just want to make sure. I think it's a minute. Study for a minute. So.
Okay, so you studied it for a minute before wiping it away.
Yep.
Right. And after you've done that, you can check this door. It opens easily enough. Does not seem to have the same restrictions as the outer ones.
Okay, I'm not going to go explore it because Gifton did not want me to go out. I just wanted to make sure that the door opened because.
Okay.
And I'm going to head.
Okay.
Yep.
Right. Hevday is going to head inside. Shaxon, as you're going through the files, there is a lot of miscellaneous research in here, but there is also a lot pertaining to soul siphoning, redistribution. There's a lot of mechanical augmentation file work here, a lot of it.
Is there any way I'm able to copy it to a spell shard like the previous place, or they don't have that system?
It's way too much.
The soul siphoning stuff might give us a better idea of how some magic in relation to the soul works, with being able to cut things off from it, that sort of thing. That's probably good to prioritize if I can.
You know that this stuff tends to be stored on, well, basically larger versions of the shard that you use, essentially data bank crystals. You could conceivably try and find those and take them with you.
Yeah, I'll do that then. That's probably the best thing. If it's something that's already stored in some kind of media I can take.
Okay. You start typing in the system, and it seems to indicate that they would be over in this room.
Okay.
As you're doing that, Hefday walks in and goes, Shaxon. I believe, yes?
You are correct, Devday. What is the matter?
I believe they intend to perform the appropriate funerary rites for your countrymen. But that is under your discretion, I am led to believe.
Out of curiosity, what would be specifically the funeral rites for people who fell in combat?
If you want to honor them, it is large pyres that are then lit alight by draconic comrades, whether it be full-blown dragons or lesser kinds. Having one of dragon blood involved in the ceremony is what does the honoring.
Jaxel, Nungo. Well, we also have Carrick, who's a full dragon.
Yeah, that's acid.
That's more acid, though.
And it's still having someone who's draconic involved in the thing.
Yeah.
Jaxel, that's probably a good idea. They did fall in combat, and so they would get the honors of that, regardless of circumstance.
In that case, my storage and research has plenty of flammable liquids.
Is that the same room that the crystal storing the data would be in, or is it a different room?
I believe the crystal banks are in there, yes.
If you'd care to give me a hand, I'm hoping to take some of the crystal banks, because there's information on there we might be able to use.
Certainly.
Not in the original form, of course, because I do not intend to continue the atrocities they have committed, but we have other purposes for it.
I would suggest enlisting the aid of your companions. There is quite a lot in that room.
Is the wall of stone from Gifton still up, by the way?
I don't think so.
I don't remember how that one works. I don't have all of
She cannot answer at this moment, but
I
guess
don't think so.
I have this as well. So
If it was, I was just saying.
it is up to 10 minutes. It is probably long gone by now.
Yes.
yeah.
I know that it's got weird permanency things, so I couldn't remember.
It's if you continually cast for like an hour, I believe it stays.
Yeah, it's gone.
Don't worry, we're just gonna blow up the whole base after this anyways.
I mean, probably, but I would like to get those things out of there first.
I'm just gonna go start at the top and just start pulse waving the whole thing away. I have a number of casts of it right now still, so.
So what's happening?
Shax will, with Evday, go and head towards the banks, because first he just wants to get the idea of what's there and see if there's anything that's been disarmed.
Okay. Hevday follows behind you. The very loud resounding stomps echoing through the hallways. And you get to this door down here. And the door does seem to be locked.
Another pad at the side? Okay, would it be Arcana or straight intellect or tool for just attempting to open it through overriding the pad?
That would be lockpicking using intelligence.
Okay, so thieves tools?
Yep.
Okay. Luckily, that's one of the things I have natively.
You start trying to basically override it. You pull off the panel. Start with the little arcane crystals connected together in there, and it fizzes and stays red lit. Hefday will step forward. He will dig his fingers into the grooves of the door, and then there's a horrible screeching sound of metal being yanked open.
Certainly good. I was hoping to not trigger anything that may come from damaging the door, but that works.
After you.
Shax will step in and start looking around.
Okay, in here, you see data terminals in these corners. Along with that, scattered around the room are tables with things on them. There are cases that seem to have wires running to items within them, and there are just boxed up things as well, wooden crates.
Since we'll probably need the other's help for moving anything else here, Shax will probably just looking for the flammable materials for the bodies first.
Okay, you do a quick look around, and it looks like some of the wooden crates hold bottles of flammable liquid.
Is it called vodka?
No, it's called Alchemist Fire.
The more effective vodka.
Yes.
Shax will go, if you can give me a hand moving these, we'll use them for the pyro outside and then get the others up for coming back for the rest.
Certainly. And he will
Thank
just
you.
pick up a crate for you and start heading out.
Shax will carry what he can, which granted he has a strength of 10, so it ain't fucking much.
While they're doing that, you can bury the Warforged, if you so please, using the earth molding abilities.
Yep, movie Earth.
When I came out, I would be that was a teleport circle. I memorized the sigils. Hopefully, maybe someone more knowledgeable of them can tell me where they were leading to.
Oh, he was just going to rip him and the battery out of there.
No, he was using the battery to power it.
Oh.
Which, by the way,
Character.
oh no, he didn't finish. So actually, I don't know how to do that. I might have to work on that.
I have a weird request. Can I, since we're probably doing these in a line, or like a big line of rows, I could also burn another spell and cast Wall of Stone. Could I make them look like little headstones?
Yes, I would allow that.
Just as markers. They won't have anything on them, but I can do that.
You can do that indeed.
Okay. Or I could make sarcophaguses out of it or something. I don't know.
Whatever you so please.
I'll kind of go, I can either encase them in stone and we can mound them up, or I could make stone markers. What would you prefer? I'll ask Tilde.
I am unsure.
I think maybe markers is better. I don't think their bodies will...
It's not like animals are going to dig for the bodies.
Yeah, I don't think animals will dig for them. Actually, I have enough room with the Wall of Stone. I can probably do both.
You want to encase them and then do that?
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll make, because it's basically doing crenellations, so I'll just do crenellations, and I'll just make a thing over top and then do that. And just kind of protect the bodies a bit.
Okay, as you're finishing up the spell work to do this, forming the headstones as such, Hefday and Shaxton emerge, carrying these crates. If you so wish, I will watch the children while you investigate that room further. I would guard them with my life.
Gonna kind of turn towards Gifton.
I'm looking confused. What room?
There's a room that has many, many things that we probably want to take with us, including the crystals that hold the information of things they're doing here, which Grant, I do not intend to continue the research in that front, but it might help us with the things that we need to cut down.
There might be information about what they were doing on their faith experiments.
Mm-hmm. And possibly things that could
And
be
you
reversed.
need my help?
It would be nice.
All right. Thank you, Have Day.
Y'all
And Dingus,
mostly are much
stay on
stronger on
duty.
my front.
And I'm gonna tussle Dingus on the nuzzle a little bit.
Gonna.
Dingus meeps.
Thank you so much, Head Day.
This is the longest me and Dingus have done into this. By the way, how long has it been since the combat originally started?
You are, at this point, you're approaching about 50 minutes in.
Alright, cool. So me and Dingus have got 10 minutes left.
Yep.
So
Have Day, is there any traps or anything in there that we need to watch out for that you know of?
No, the corridor traps have already been triggered.
Okay.
there are traps in the
thank you.
corridor?
Yes.
Oh.
I'm going to
Run into anything.
snap my fingers and bring Merrick back.
The little pseudo dragon beeps at you happily.
Do you want to stay out here with your father and watch the little ones, or come with me?
Merrick is glancing around curiously, looking for Dingus.
Gonna motion at the giant
Merrick's
dragon.
sounded Big Daddy before.
Merrick's head cranes backwards.
Big Daddy.
And Dingus comes out happily. And then Merrick sort of glances at you, Carrick, and you get that flash of me?
Casting enlarge on them.
Okay, Merrick, still not quite as big as Dingus, is still going to look very pleased and sort of flap about, heading over to Dingus, trying to show off how big he is.
Yes.
Oh my.
Yep. He went up to small. Be proud of him, guys. He's the size of a dog now.
I mean, this is kind of what
Merrick
happened last time. This happened.
No one show him the griffin that's nearby and much larger.
Okay, is everyone heading in?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll follow them in.
You're leaving Tessa outside the guard as well?
Oh yeah, she's staying out there.
Right. You all head in. As you come through the corridors, you come up to the room with the wrenched open doors. And stepping in, you'll see much as Shaxon did. There are terminals, strangely panelled walls, crates just scattered about, a few benches with items on them.
There's quite a bit in here, isn't there?
There really is.
I guess we'll give it a quick look over and see what we can find.
Investigation checks then, please.
Wait, I'm still an angel. I still am an angel. Better stats. Yeah, better stats.
Where?
I have true sight.
I have blind sense.
I don't know if it's supposed to add on this or not, but the passive investigation thing, it claims I have a +5 on it.
Okay.
I do not have investigation.
Which
So it's-
should come out to, I
is it just
think,
a
27.
Is it an intelligence
Investigation
check?
intelligence. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
it's still way better on this character than anything else, so there we go. I got a +7 on this one versus Gifton, who's like a 1.
Gifton.
Sorry, Toby.
Louis, you're sort of looking about, and there's the obvious thing like the computer terminals and so on.
Otherwise, I am just lost in this room.
You're still a little overwhelmed by everything that's going on.
I still don't know everything that's going on.
Gifton, you open up one of the crates, and there is ammunition in here. Lots of ammunition in here.
Bullets!
All made of iron.
Mm-hmm. And Carrick and Shaxon.
Mm-hmm.
You look around. Not only do you find what seems to be more stores of weapons that they were using, you also find a shotgun that seems to be hooked up to some scanning devices. You see leads leading into it, hooked up to the terminal that has details on it. You find that, Shaxon.
Mhm.
Oh my god, we're
Carrick?
Ghostbusters.
Yes.
You find behind sort of little glass panel, same sort of wiring hooked up to what looks like to be a ring, just a simple copper band, and files in it seem to be open up right now as well.
Okay.
On top of that, the group of you, I'll get you to you in a second, Telday. You will find in seemingly alcoves ready to be deployed, 3 full sets of Goemon flight equipment.
Mm-hmm.
There is a iron stone, seemingly just floating, set into a little wall compartment. But yes, and that's what you find. Telday. You're looking about, and you actually see very, very faint on some of these panelled things, ones that look like they've been touched more. You can see worn metal. And as you go touch that compartment, it actually opens up to reveal secret items. Seemingly stored away. One seems to contain a ring that's just set into a small box. There's a little data slate next to it that seems to have information on it. And then another compartment has what looks like to be a wooden box, very, very nicely carved. Just looks like a sort of dark oak. And opening that up, there are a pair of strange guns in it. And that too has a little data slate stored with it.
I'm going to pick up the data slate, or I guess both of them, keeping in mind.
What would you like to check first?
I'm going to start with the less impressive ring.
Okay. There's some basic information. Where it was found, which was a expedition along the coastline about 7 years ago here. Which long before the madness started. Seems to list it as a ring that grants the wielder the ability to turn invisible. Seems to be of Fey origin. Its carvings indicative of Fey nature. It seems to never tarnish, never get dirty, and when worn, bearers report a feeling of optimism and they feel fortunate about the future.
So, where's the nearest volcano so that I can throw this in there?
No.
Basically, I'm going to give you details because these data sets are providing you free investigations, essentially.
Free identification spells.
Identifications, that's the word, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let me paste this into Tarnstead.
Just put it in the
Here is
channel.
the first one.
Oh.
You guys can move it into that channel, please.
All right, we'll do.
Okay. Moving on to the data set for the guns. These were recovered from a fallen adventurer about 3 years ago. They were encountered in a nasty fight. The Hexanikers were fighting against the Norinese invaders, who were accompanied by an angel in that one happenstance. It seemed someone else had come along, as there was someone there specifically hunting that angel down. These guns were a pair of revolvers wielded by this man. They seem to be at least one of them seems to be particularly effective against the angel. Further investigations found that they have engravings on them. One has the engraving of faith, one has the engraving of fall. And they seem to have different effects, which it will list. Copy and paste. This is a large blurb of text.
Interesting.
Oh yeah, other question. Are any of these attunement or just across the board attune?
These so far, I believe the Ring of Invisibility attunement, the Iron Stone will be with attunement, as will the other ring, which, looking at it, it is listed as a Ring of Regeneration, with these properties on it. That will be attunement as well. The revolvers are not attunement, neither is the shotgun.
I like the only takes a minute to attune.
See, I know it's going to be a heavily contested item, but ooh, that ring of invisibility.
Tasty, right?
There's too many attunement items.
I'd get something for that.
Yes, I'll totally get that. The Shackton, the shotgun, has quite a data file on it. Its properties listed seems to be particularly effective, like strangely so for a weapon its type, and seems to imbue the wielder with a certain resilience in the face of death, which it has these properties. This is actually from one of their own men, who about 5 years ago was found dead, surrounded by a few Norran paladins. He had headed out as part of a unit to try and save some of the Saharan people. It was a rescue mission. And reports say that he was one of the last survivors, still facing unyielding odds and would not fall, desperately trying to save those that he could. And as far as they're certain, his otherwise mundane shotgun was imbued with this power based on his sheer will.
Fantastic.
Wow. That's a cool weapon.
Mm-hmm.
Does that mean like every time that you would? How would that work? So when you drop to 0,
You stay at 1 HP. If you get hit again, you roll another death saving throw. If you do 3 fails, you're down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because if you're at 0 and
So
someone
you're still
save.
functioning, but yeah, you're
still functioning, but you're still making your death saves.
Okay,
yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Basically, so you still get your turn rather than just roll the save and nothing
Yeah,
else.
yeah.
Mhm.
If you stabilize, what happens? You continue fighting.
Mm.
and there is also indeed this Iron Stone, which does not seem to have a class history to it, and seems to actually be listed as being created here in this lab.
People who were playing with souls, creating a stone.
Mm.
On top of that, in the more mundane items, there are these in this room immediately. This is on top of what you would have found out front on the bodies, which would be this.
When you say ammo, I guess you were just counting it universal.
It's mundane. The bullets for the modern stuff. Yes.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
It's universal. Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna strap all these guns to our airship.
I mean, there's a couple I'm probably taking.
Yeah.
Because Shax is very much gun-based, and there's a couple there that are direct upgrades to the thing I'm currently using.
Yeah.
Oh, and let me make sure that's listed as well.
Tilde needs an auto pistol.
Either Dallas multi-class.
Yeah.
Oh
my god, the Gear multi-class! Oh my god! It's the unlock.
Mm-hmm.
Shaxton,
Magical unlock.
you know that in combat, if the person wielding the Gear tends to fall, the crystalline gem that is the central control unit for all of it tends to shatter, and thus it's very hard to actually find this as salvage.
Mm-hmm. The question I have is, we found 3 full sets. Would I be able to bastardize one of the sets to make it so my armor is capable of flight? Not getting any other properties of Square Magier, but flight.
Are you able to do that as an artificer normally?
Not sure. I don't think I can. Well, I don't think there's many other classes that really have the thing of, like, this is a specific piece you can augmenting type thing?
In general, no.
Okay.
We can talk about maybe using the actual legitimate item crafting rules to do some of the standard flight items.
Okay. On the side, also, do you have a link to your Guerrero stuff? Because
Yes, I will do after the session. Yeah.
Yeah, I had closed it ages ago because you had said that you wanted to do other things with it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to start putting things into bag of holding for now.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay,
I guess we'll
storing things away.
I guess we'll sort through this later.
So that is for the best. I would like to take and check so the data crystals. I know where they are and all this.
Yes, you find them they're basically beneath the control systems here. They're buried into the floor, but you can easily unbolt these, move them aside, and pull those out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he will work on doing that after they've seen the magic items. I would like to take these crystals and these are the things that have the information we would need.
I really like that ring of invisibility just because of all the extra shit it has on it.
Which I will also put this in here, which is a better organized list version. At least separates things out.
I want the butterflies.
Ah, fantastic.
Files.
I will tell you, I am definitely not taking that.
With the ring?
Yeah, the achievements I have are actually really strong already. So,
I would definitely consider it if no one else is gonna take it, but I don't want to like take it away from somebody who might get better at it. But I love the idea of Mill just going invisible at will. That's just great.
It is not something that's in Shax's modus operandi, so it's not something he's interested in.
It is, or
I
isn't?
think you might get it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
yeah,
Which is great because it has butterflies and stuff, and that's totally in my aesthetic.
Yeah, that's the reason I'm thinking.
That's why I fell in love with it from the extra bullshit. I love Ring of Invisibility already, but the gleaming, the blissful, and the fey was like, hell yeah. The symbol of power makes me wary as shit. I don't like that, but the rest of it I enjoy.
I mean, maybe it's a symbol of power for the Fae, and
that makes why I'd be worried about it. Yes, actually, that.
It's fine. It's.
I might take off my bracers. I might take off my bracers of archery for this. I know.
Okay. Well, you'll gather things up. The security data crystals and the various equipment. Right, and you are able to leave the base. And if there's nothing else you want to do,
I believe we are.
We should probably contact the goddess and let her know what has transpired here, and maybe she may want to help the children. I don't know.
I think we should destroy this place.
I agree with that.
She might be able to do that in a much easier way than us. I mean, unless you want to take a few shots at it first. I don't have the magical ability to continue to do that today.
Yeah, which your power, you can feel it fading, Gifton.
Yeah, I'm going outside, and okay, Dingle, I'm sorry, it's gotta wear out.
I could do a little bit, but I do not think
I can't hold
could.
it anymore. It hurts. We gotta let it go.
Yeah, by this point,
Angus licks you.
I'm a bit sore.
Mm.
I will.
And with that, you revert.
And then I will scoop up my little dingus.
Dingus wiggles in your arms happily.
It's still glowing.
Wiggle, wiggle.
Wiggle, wiggle.
I'm gonna pick up Merrick.
That's the longest you got to be big.
Put Merrick on my shoulder.
Ah, so she is small.
It is very strong magic.
Sure. Sorry to disappoint.
She is bigger than others.
It is merely an observation.
Do you wish to try anything till day before I tried to contact Lady Hea?
Unfortunately, the only options that I can think of would involve the destruction of those other rooms. I'm not entirely sure how that That could be done in such a way that would affect the rest of this.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, are these more batteries?
No, they were control systems
Okay.
or consoles.
Well, you're lucky you get to know. I'll try my hand. I'm gonna start praying to a lady.
I'm going to dismiss my angel
Yeah.
wings and sit down on the sand and just hug Dingus and pet Trouble and pull the
Lady,
little kid in close.
We have found the facility and have cleared it, but we do not have the power to remove it to make sure others do not try to use what is here for ill. We have saved some of those who were taken from the lands. Especially, we have 3. I'm gonna double check out of character. It is 3. It's 2 drow and a berserker.
Yes.
Okay. 3 young ones that we were able to get back to.
The moment you say 3 young ones,
All you'd say is there were children, and you would get the goddess
there
immediately.
is a displacement of sand as she just apparates right before you.
See, the goddess has come
daytime,
here
by
just
the way?
for you.
Children?
Yeah. See, the
Good
goddess
morning.
came just for you.
The little folk is leaning back in your arms. Goddess?
Yeah, the goddess here. You know about the goddess here?
A demon here.
No, good goddess.
You thought that she is a demon.
No, you've been taught falsehood.
She is very much not.
Hey, looks a little pained hearing that. But she sort of just looks directly at Carrick and just goes, "We had children here."
Yes. These 3 we were able to save.
Their souls have already passed on.
Yes.
Goddess.
What were they doing with them?
They were making things like Telday.
Yes.
Louis,
Yeah, Louis is actually kind of interposing himself between the tent and the children and this being that just showed up, because I doubt he's ever met her.
No.
And he's had bad things with people claiming to be gods.
This small horned drow approaches you, Louis, with a soft smile, and goes, "Faithful Louis, hero of my people, do you take the children aside for a moment?"
She asked me to take the children aside.
Mm-hmm.
And Louis going to scoop up kids and go, "All right,
Around the back of the base, there is the most delicious of fruit-bearing trees."
And Louis going to scoop up the kids and plop them on Tressa's back.
Gifted is giving that look of my lizard child was taken from me. It's alarmed because it went with a cat.
And I'm going to lead Tressa off and just like, okay, I'm going to not argue at the moment.
And as you head round back, Louis, there is a large tree bearing these big fruits on it.
Weird, it wasn't there earlier.
Mangoes.
Yeah.
Not there earlier.
Okay.
Maybe Gifton would like to go also with.
No.
Okay.
They were hurting my children. They were doing foul things to their souls.
Yes.
You see her taking a deep breath, trying and failing to calm herself.
I'm going to move over and wrap my arms around her and hug. It's over.
No, it is not over. It is never over. Every time I think that my land is left alone in peace, they do something foul to me or my children. And they tell me not to interfere, to let the mortals go about their business as they please, that it is not our place as gods to directly meddle. And they keep abusing that. These are, they're hers, aren't they? Morgani's?
No, they're crazy.
They're
Crazy.
not in the right mind.
They might have been Morgani's once, but they've gone insane. Just like Morgani, whatever disease has riddled her mind has riddled theirs as well.
And these deceased outsiders are hurting my children.
They are.
Yes.
And I'm supposed to sit back and let it happen. You know, they put me away once before for being too involved. I don't think they can do that again. I don't think they're strong enough, and I think I am plenty strong enough to stop them.
Yeah. I know this is terrible, and it is. But bad things happen, and people work through it, and it makes some of them better. And it sucks that it happens, and I want to burn every last one of them. I do. But we can deal with those people if we want to, but the most important thing is taking care of those kids.
Yes.
They will be very well taken care of.
We have stopped the ability
And
for this
outsiders did something
8 years.
terrible, but outsiders also came to help. The world isn't as easy. I mean, I'll say the gods are dumb. They don't know everything, and I don't think their way's perfect. I think you'll find your own better path. But, you know, I just don't want you just shutting everybody out. I mean, I understand if you want to, but...
I have no plans of shutting anybody out. Next time they try and harm one of mine, I'm not going to sit idle.
We have found all the research and everything they were hiding at this base. They are going to make sure that it never is used again for anything resembling or even close to this purpose. We will make sure nobody else is hurt because of this.
I know you won't.
Or otherwise.
You're good people.
We try.
We'll take them back to the others for now.
That is probably for the best.
And I will see about if they have homes to go to. You know if they have homes to go to?
The little
Tourism's
one,
that the village was burned.
she told me her village burned, and she seems kind of upset. I don't think her family's still alive. But I know if anybody could find them, it would be you.
Children first.
She's welcome with me. I told her she could be one of mine.
You are too kind.
I'm Faye. If I see a stray child, I just want to take it. I give her another hug.
Let's go see to them. And she's actually going to start walking around the back.
Mm-hmm.
I will.
And Louiswa is trying poorly to juggle for the children with fruit.
I was worried you were going to say juggling the children.
Fingers fruit.
Oh no.
The drow girl seems to be clapping happily at Lusar, even though you're doing this terribly. The lizard folk and the drow boy are giving you that look of adult embarrassing themselves.
And
But
Louis
you
is
got
having a
attention.
grand old time doing it too.
Come around. I'm going to mage hand one of the fruits away from the juggling.
Hey.
Come down.
I'm going to
It's not supposed to do that.
float it down to whichever child's closest to Louis.
The drow boy sort of watches this fruit levitate and just very gingerly reaches out and grabs it. Children, we're going to see you safely back away from the bad men.
Yes, we.
So make sure that you're safe and sort things out. And the children look uncertain, but she's sort of walking over to them and not so much crouching down. She doesn't have to go that far down. Just leans a bit and goes, everything's going to be okay. It'll all be okay. And I'm sure that these brave adventurers will come see you as well, won't they?
Absolutely.
You'll see them soon.
If they want to see us, we'll be there.
And she places her hands on the children's shoulders, and then they're gone. It's just a sight whirling with sand.
She killed them and turned them into sand.
No.
Get her.
Oh, no. Gifton looks immediately sad.
And Louis looks even more at a loss for words.
Oh, he has them now. All right.
Thank you, my lady, for coming to assist.
Well, shall we go drop the chuckleheads off in Winden?
You have survivors. I would have one.
Hey,
Oh, is that Hea's voice?
Yes.
yes.
Two of them are I believe 3 of them are ones that are not in their right mind. They are poisoned with faith currently. We would like to be able to fix them. Zarast is the one responsible, but I can assure you, he is going to be in things for a very, very long time.
I do not care which one.
What do you intend to do with them?
I will get the information from their mind.
Tilde?
Will it be painful?
It won't be delicate.
Tilde? I know I don't have much place to say for this being your people, but whatever Barast is going to do to him will be paled in comparison to what Hea can ensure happens. And I would prefer it myself. I don't know for you, but I don't know if I trust Barastian law to make this feel right.
This one is a mere soldier and is unlikely to have been heavily involved in anything and thusly deserves no such torture.
I mean the scientist.
And this one I cannot hand over. But if you intend to torture, that is not right.
I don't intend to torture. But I'm not... I don't care how they feel.
You will inflict pain in order to gain information.
The way they will gain the information will be painful. It's different.
No, it is not. That is a self-deception, and that is a path that you should not follow if you wish to be considered benevolent.
What has benevolence got me? I think I was the most benevolent of them all, and why should they get to hurt my people when nothing comes of it?
Why should your actions lead to more pain?
Maybe it can stop further pain. Maybe it can be a warning. Maybe...
Did it work the last time?
I don't know, because I've never done it.
Did you not?
You're talking about a retaliation against her and her land.
Was action taken against them? Intentional.
I keep them. The next time one of these people tries to set up on my land, tries to take my people, she seems to glower, and you see her fist clenching. And then there is an eruption from the sand as a large tentacle emerges, draping over the hexagon-like base, and you see it being crumpled and pulled beneath. Won't stand for it.
I'm gonna bow my head quietly.
I'm not going to comment any further. I said what I needed to say.
Lucian has no idea what to say. This is beyond him.
I hope you did not injure any people in your search for your people, Telde.
If he did, I'm sure he can justify it. There's a tree.
Yeah, with mangoes.
Or you can go where you need to go.
Thank you, goddess. I will get these people out of your lands.
Yes, we will.
She just nods and she turns around and just stares at the dip in the sand, the ruined base.
Gonna move over and put a hand on her shoulder.
Thank you for helping them.
Of course. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for continuing to help them.
She does not reply. She just seems sullen.
You will inspire so many people to do great things. I hope I'm around to see it all. I give her a little shoulder squeeze and then move back to the group. All right. I'll Wyndon to drop off the prisoners.
And then we should check on our airship. We should be able to finish the repairs on Tedley and start repairs on Hevde over the other.
Is it maybe better for me to get us to Wyndon?
Can you get everyone?
Wyndon?
Yes.
Yes, Wyndon.
Returning.
I don't think you want me to go. I don't know if I'm welcome in Wyndon.
You'll be
Yes.
with us.
You will be fine. Just stay near me.
I should be able to get anyone.
Stay near
through as
Telde
long
and
as-
away from me.
As long as we do quickly, and if I need to, I can cast it a few times.
Alright. Well, if you want to do it, then I can save my... I have this extra reserve of magic that just seemed to have cropped up, and kind of look at the sparkles, and also some things just aren't fading away.
Well, you have received your wings back permanently, it seems.
I've had them back for a while now, Carrick.
Have you tried to focus? Maybe you're able to turn it off as you wish.
Yeah, maybe. Also, there's like a whole plant issue over here. I've got constant passive plant growth. Now.
So what happens in the desert?
I think it doesn't do anything until I get to an oasis, because it has to have actual plants to influence. So when we get over by the tree, all of a sudden shit starts sprouting up everywhere near Grifton.
Mm-hmm. Maybe you're also able to control that with a bit of focus.
Maybe. It took me like 3 months to figure out how to put the wings away. So, focus isn't really my forte.
I will be right back.
Mm-hmm. And while he's talking, Shax is idly kind of thumbing one of the computational gems.
And I guess we're just moving our prisoners over here. Gift is going to keep glancing over in Hea's direction.
She seems unmoving from that spot. And he seems to even be paying attention to what you're all doing.
So I will use my points and open portal to Winden.
Okay. Alright, you're all able to portal through to Winden. Arriving in the complex's warded teleportation room.
Scares the shit out of some people.
Yeah, there is that brief moment, as always is with unannounced visits here, of the guns leveled your way.
Also have day.
Yep. Which they don't lower as immediately as they normally do when they see it's you arriving. Instead, they do train on Hev Day.
Easy.
Okay, he's not going to attack.
We have prisoners, though.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
We just teleported into
no.
Winden.
Yeah.
Their guns are trained on us.
You've arrived in Winden, where there are guns trained on mostly Hev Day. But yes, there's alert guards. And that's it. Ouch.
Who would be your contact Tilday? Who should they?
We should go back to the base. Perhaps it may be best if I do so.
We're at the base. We just teleported
You're
in.
in the base.
Oh yeah, if it is in the base, then
It is indeed.
yes.
I'm assuming you don't want us with you for what follows Tilday.
Your main contact Tilday, if it hasn't been with the higher ups, has tended to be Captain Jensen.
Yeah.
I guess it would be best if I spoke to Captain Jensen.
Okay. Well, I will turn over.
Would one of you guards like to retrieve him or contact him?
Yes, sir. I have to ask you all to remain in place right now.
All right.
That is why I'm asking you to do so.
And he actually just moves over to a wall where he pulls off one of those little speaker phone things, and seems to dial in a number. And goes, please inform Captain Jensen that the Tilday has arrived with one of his and those Hexenreich uniforms with some Hexenreichers, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm just picturing it as a rotary phone.
And he places the little handset back on the wall and goes, Captain Jensen's going to be alerted. He looks a little intimidated by the presence of Hev Day, because you gotta remember, he's got fucking turrets on his shoulder and shit.
He's also just by nature extremely large.
Yeah.
I think that I have a friend that you'd really, well, a friend's a strong word. I have an acquaintance that would really just enjoy the heck out of you.
Oh god, the two of them together.
If you are trying to set me up on a date, I'm afraid I have very little interest.
No, I'm afraid that he may have other interests already. He already has like 12 children of his own, but they're all fine warriors, and he's kind of a bit of a badass.
That is the fun I thought it was.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, beat the living tar out of me. Calls me a goddamn cheater.
To be fair, you're not the one that he put on the floor.
True, but, he still smacked into me pretty hard.
There is no cheating in combat. There is only victory or death.
Yep, spoken like a true Lollan.
Really?
I give him a wry smile. I haven't got a clue. How would I know?
I was considered an oddity in my time.
Oh.
I mean, you do have someone to ask. Well, now two someones.
No, the one person I have to ask is never available. Right now they're mad at me and hiding a goat.
You do have...
A farmer, perhaps.
Why is he hiding a goat?
Dadriel's convinced that I was going to kill the goat.
Why were you intending on killing a goat?
Because of reasons that I'm not talking about in front of a lot of guards.
That is probably the best trace, also.
Okay, scarred faces surrounding you all until the...
Wax Louis Suave face.
The
goat meat is delicious.
I told him goats are delicious to eat. He got very upset. He doesn't like the killing of animals.
And Captain Jensen steps on through, gives you an acknowledging nod, first of all, Telday. Oh, no, there's the big fella. And I am to assume, and he sort of tries to lean round to look at the various bound people you have. You have our dear scientist with you.
Two scientists.
Another scientist and a Hexenreich soldier.
Affirmative.
So he did fall into Hexenreichers.
Yes. It may be prudent to further debrief in a less open area.
Yes. Right, take them to the containment cells. And you, it was Unit 7, Hev Day. No? Are you... Is he... I am completely capable of conversing as an individual. Right, I'm going to have to ask you to,
Hevday has a more clear sense of self than I do, sir.
Not to make any off-color comments about that, Miss Greysteel, but still need you to go with some of my men. You'll have to be debriefed.
He is not a prisoner.
No, we won't use that word. And you see Hevday sort of tilting his head to look down at you, Telday.
I expect, if he so wishes to leave, that he will be able to.
It will be entirely dependent on the kind of threat he poses.
I really a threat if he's stepping away in the way of his punches.
And Hevday actually sort of lifts an arm up and places his hit on your shoulder, Telday. And goes, "They could not hold me, brother. I will go with them for now."
Let us not test that.
It could be fun. Fine. Have your men lead me, Captain Jensen.
You're just very hell-bent on taking more damage, are you not? Just making my job harder.
Only if it leads to glory. And he starts to step forward.
Well, says a glory for after I get you back to 100%, if you do not mind.
There's a sort of slight movement of his arms which suggests a shrug. Only his shoulders aren't really built for that. And a few more of the guards come up and start to collect the bound Hexenreichers. And they are hauled off. As Captain Jensen looks at the rest of you and looks at the Leonin with a sort of questioning glance. Have you replaced a couple of your party members?
Gifton makes a sour face and shakes her head.
Where's Adalas? I heard about Cassiopeia.
He's taking a moment to himself.
Time.
Yes.
And this man?
The cat.
He has been a useful ally.
He was brought on by a third party to assist with the mission that we are undertaking.
It's nice to see your kind here. Where are you from?
Norand. More
Right.
recently, Zaha.
Right. Well then.
He has been a useful asset.
Yes, I'm just thinking about the paperwork. I'm going to have to ask you to disarm while in our base, sir.
I hand him my shield.
He does not take your shield. He actually motions a couple of guards to come up towards you.
Yeah,
No
'cause
other weapons.
Griffin would be here, so your lance will be here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Rex actually offers up his stuff as well.
Mr. Rothskyler, it is not necessary for you. You are approved.
I am not a registered adventurer. I would feel better following the rules as I'm supposed to.
You've been given special dispensation, though.
You are a known entity to us.
Very well then. And you'll put them back in holsters and lock them down.
Frankly, I'd be more inclined to disarm Mr. Adelas were he to come in here than you.
I'll keep that under advisement.
That's the other Hexenriker, isn't it?
Correct.
Yes.
Okay.
Right. Then I assume that he has been part of this escapade?
For the last little bit, yes.
Your name, sir?
Louis Swan de Orel.
Your route?
De Orgel.
The Orgel. Well, Mr. Orgel, if you'd be so kind as to accompany us. Is there anyone I should inform about your presence here?
He's
I think
the
that's right.
lion, right?
As far as I'm concerned, I have no attachment to Noran anymore.
Do you consider yourself a free agent?
No, I'm a bound agent of Zaha.
Right. Well, then if you are not wanting us to contact anybody about your presence, please follow me. And he actually turns on heel and starts to walk out.
I will follow.
Your Griffin. You comfortable with us stabling them? If not, they'll have to remain here.
So long as she is well fed and well cared for.
Of course.
Gonna switch things on. We're
Beep.
going.
Ressa?
Be petting the little mirror.
Dresser is fluffing a little antagonistically at some of the guards.
Ressa? Go with them.
That's a nice. Trust a no bite. Trust a no bite.
Gives you that look of
Maybe
reluctant, but okay.
No chewing on anyone, no biting anything. And if I hear someone loses a limb, we are going to have a very long conversation.
There's some puffed feathers, but she's sort of...
Gifted is looking between the Leonin and the Griffin, just horrified, and just slowly slides behind Carrick.
As you all sort of filter out, you actually hear one of the guards going, "Right, come on, pretty girl. Got some nice rabbit. You want some rabbit? Yeah." As they will take hold of Tessa's reins. Right, and you are all led to Jensen's office. Well, actually, no, he's going to take you to a larger meeting room.
Yeah, his office isn't that big. He can only handle like one person at a time. Been in there. I know what it's like.
Considering there are two very large people in the group right now.
Yeah, Cat and Telday.
Yeah.
And he leads you into a larger meeting room where he sort of gestures for you just to sit down. And you see him stop and speak to an aide about refreshments. And as he seats himself, he looks at the group of you. Says, "Well, please forgive my curtness once more. And you, Telday, I hope we've exchanged enough words that you understand that my caution is not ill intent."
Yes.
Good. That being said, I did not expect you to return with your fellow Warforged.
Did you
Well,
expect me to destroy my brother?
I expected him to not be coming willingly. Most of our reports suggested that he was quite a willing ally, and perhaps willing through programming, but all the same, of the kind doctor.
Kind is not the word I would use for that man,
No.
even in jest.
Worse than reports suggested then?
They used children.
Children.
They put them in the machines.
You see the otherwise reserved Captain Jensen, his fists actually grip a little bit on the tabletop briefly.
He took Zahan children, sir.
Living children.
He ripped their souls out of their body.
They killed them.
There's a very angry young lady who would very much like a piece of him.
At least 6 dead. Confirmed.
Well, I can assure you, this bastard will not be escaping again, nor will he ever see the light of day.
What is the plan?
The plan is to learn whatever contacts he had, how he got out, who he was aligned with, what his plans were, and everything he has ever known. Then we're going to bury him in a deep, dark cell and make sure he never speaks to anybody or has any contact with anyone that could help him ever again. That's or execution, but I think he's more of a valuable asset to keep around.
No.
No?
No. He is far more dangerous to be kept around.
I do not know if he is able to be executed in his current state.
He can be executed. It may be questionable as to whether or not it would take.
What are you saying?
His soul is bound to his body.
Some other experimentation?
Something like that, sir.
Something to that effect.
His soul will not leave his body.
You're telling me
he
he's
is
a blasted lich?
Yes.
Out of character, I'm gonna ask real quick. We had to res him, didn't we?
Yeah.
So you're still dead.
I had to restore the body so he could move again. But he was dead, sir.
Perhaps we'll discover just how permanent that is. So you're suggesting an execution, Telday?
Yes. I do not believe anyone can be fully trusted with his creations.
Well, I will certainly note that advisement, but I hope you understand that this is not your call.
I do.
If I might give an additional suggestion.
Yes?
It seems that the Zahalan government, as it was, is starting to make a comeback on a much grander scale. Given the atrocities inflicted upon them as well, it might not be a bad idea to open up talks to have them take part in it, and possibly open up inroads political-wise with them.
Saharan government. Which one? The Alliance cities of Al Adern? The state of Andalus? Which one are we talking about here?
Who's willing to
It's a
talk?
god.
That'd be the proper path. Which one's willing to talk?
Most of them are willing to talk in some fashion or the other, but most don't like the recognition of the others. It's me dealing with the Saharan people a delicate matter.
Maybe we can.
GM, I know all these groups?
Yeah.
How good in am I with any of them, if at all?
You are actually more of a local hero. You are better off with towns themselves, small peoples.
Rather than the politics.
You don't have much of the
Okay.
more aligned equal nations. You don't have many roads in with.
I will say, sir, also, this man has greatly wronged the Fae, and that wound is deep for my people.
Are you suggesting we turn him over to the Fae?
I am saying we have a vested interest in what happens to him. He has rent our land, and he has taken from us.
Yeah, she sort of leans forward a bit, placing his elbow on the desk, his chin resting on his hand a bit, and goes, "Are you representing the Feywild now, Miss Greysteel?"
I'm negotiating it. I have been talking with like-minded, kinder Fey. There are many of them gathering, and they were not happy about what happened.
Well, that does change things a little bit. Fae are always, well, frankly, beyond risk contact. If you're saying that there are Fae wishing to talk, are we talking lords, ladies, pixies, sprites? What is this?
There's a mix, sprites, satyrs, the like. They follow my lady. The old followers of her have been gathering. Things have been changing in the Fae, and different thoughts are being carried about.
If I could trouble you for a full written report on it, Miss Greysteel.
Intend to speak with she looks like she doesn't want to say his name.
He's just staring at you patiently.
Oh. Why do I keep wanting to say his name wrong? This is bad. It's Titania and Oberon. Yeah, I want to say Bororon, and I was like, "That's not right."
Bororon.
Yeah. I she
That's
kind
his cousin.
she goes. I intend
40.
to go to the castle myself soon. Of Oberon.
Castle. Oberon, the one that led an incursion.
Yes, he struck back on a nation that had struck our people. If you put it in more mortal terms, it's no different than if somebody had been striking and taking villagers against one border to another.
A fair point.
While it was terrible and ghastly what he did, and I will not give him credit for being in the right for what he did, he was defending our lands. And if it could lead to a better future and no resentment, I could try to talk to him. And she doesn't look like she wants to do it.
Oh. That is multiple possibilities then. Making more inroads with foreign people, especially with the stories of their god returning. Making inroads with the Fae, both valuable. However, this would mean handing him over to either of them, yes?
No, I think it would mean agreement on punishment.
We are frankly not willing to let him out of our hands.
I think it would be fair to have a representative of each to see through whatever punishment is there.
And do you all agree with Telday's assessment? That execution is the way to go?
I don't think that'll finish it.
That man should not be suffered to live longer than he has to. He has done abominable things.
Oh. If he has managed to bind his soul in some way, it would not be the first lich we've had to put to death. There are always ways and methods.
My only concern, sir, is that somebody like that, eventually somebody's going to want what's in his head.
That is true, and that might be us. And before you suggest that would be for ill will purposes, Telday, have you considered that there might be something in your people that he has implanted that we might need to discover someday? We don't know everything about your kind. We don't know what could happen next that we might need his information for.
Nor could you trust any information that he gives you.
No, not fully. But people are always willing to bend a little if they think that they will get a little more lax treatment.
But if you think that you are being given a way to subvert his own backdoor plans, it may be that you are in fact implementing them.
Yes, and indeed, we could go on forever about the ifs and ifs nots of this entire conceived offence. But the long and short of it is, if we execute him, there will be no possibility. We will not be able to try and gauge whether we're being deceived or not. We will simply be unable to do anything.
And if he lives, there's always the chance he can arrange to escape.
Indeed, there are risks both ways.
You have my advisement. It appears that you have your own set ideas.
I do not have any inclination one way or the other. Frankly, I'd like to put a bullet in his head.
Everybody has their duties to take care of.
I have to consider each possibility.
I'm assuming that this matter will likely be handled by the king and his advisors as what the carryout will
The king will be involved as much as he should be, but it is a military matter.
So it'll be Thomas?
General Stenhouse will have the final word.
I nod.
And I am quite aware how heavy your words weigh with him.
Was there no further need of us in Saha?
Well, frankly, I expected you to be out there a little longer than this to find him. There was some consideration that your presence... You'll forgive me, you are the quintessential do-gooding adventurers. He says that with a slight smile. We were hoping that you would be out there putting a good word to the Baratheon name. But, as you are done, there is no further need. I suppose you're once again free agents. Payment will be arranged, of course. You have defeated the Southern Menace. You have found our missing assets. And you have done a great service to the military. In which case, I would very much appreciate it if you would all be so kind as to give me a written debrief if you are not willing to stay around and talk me through it. I have no need of keeping you, though.
I will make sure a written debrief is sent to your desk, sir.
Of course.
What time is it? I am so backlash, back and forth.
It is about 10 p.m.
Oh. Back and forth, back and forth. Oh
yes, different time over there, yes?
Yes, it's sunlight, daytime, daytime. It's been a bit back and forth.
Oh, will you be traveling back through the gate or into the city?
Into the city and out through a tree, most likely.
I see. Well,
do you need us to stay longer till day? Do you need us to stay?
I will stay on to finish this debrief.
I appreciate it. And I'm quite sure that you want to see how well Hefday is treated, yes?
I can
Affirmative.
fetch you tomorrow, if that's alright.
Yes. Do not delay on my account.
I will get checks in and the rest to the airship. Looking at the cat.
He's just arching an eyebrow at you. If you need to go back through the teleport circle, you're more than welcome to.
I can teleport right to the airship, but
He doesn't like cats, apparently.
no, don't.
Well, her kind has been menaced by house cats for quite some time.
Mm-hmm.
And Louis Swat, actually, upon hearing that, looks at her. House cat! How house cat. Do I look like a house cat? Would you prefer I
Yes.
go meow?
Yeah.
It is probably similar to
Scandalizing. The
the
scale is about the same.
the fear that most people feel when they meet a full dragon. And Carrick just gives a grin.
Yes, I'm going outside. Captain Jensen, good to see you. And
It's good to see you as well. I hope we get to work together on further things.
I hope so.
Would it be okay to, when returning tomorrow, drop those off, or would you like them before we leave?
Before you leave, if you please.
Yes, okay.
Well, quite frankly, I shouldn't be letting you go without them, but, well.
Nah, we will.
Well, in that case, I'll stay and give you a verbal one, because it'll take me longer to write it down.
Probably
just
for
do
the
that.
best.
We'll just do
I was
verbal
going to say,
debriefing.
well, I'm looking forward to going home, but I suppose duty must persist.
Oh, well, if you want
I
us to
will.
write it down, we can. That's fine. How many paragraphs do you want? Is this 5 okay?
No, we
Well-
are doing this now.
Well,
And,
Gifton, why don't you do a spoken to him? I can do a written relatively quickly.
I guess you're a bit better at writing than I am. This doesn't feel right without 2 hands.
what do you mean without
Very
2 hands?
confused that Gifton.
I kind of make a gesture like holding a quill. Gifton.
Using 2 hands
Yeah.
at once. I understand.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I did not think you had lost a hand in any of our fighting.
All right. Well, I will go and do the debrief and get that done.
Carrick
Okay.
will step out. I'm guessing he does probably not want us all in to hear each other's.
No, he likes to do this individually.
So Carrick will step out and start writing. I'm guessing they will provide me with.
With
Quill and
paper and so
yeah.
on, yes.
Carrick will write his own.
So you're able to go through the debrief easy enough. I should ask anything you want to leave out.
Time travel.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The spiritual.
The spiritual.
Okay.
That's mostly it.
Okay. So basically, you summoned up as met contacts in Sahar that helped locate base.
Yep. Teleported out,
Mm.
hunted people,
Yeah.
did thing. Had
Okay.
brief incursion, unfortunately, with locals that thought we were bad guys.
hmm Okay. Anyone not wanting to leave that stuff out? What about good old honest Tell Day?
Good old honest cell day.
Those 3 rifle
I mean, he's had 10,000 years to break himself of that habit.
Cell day's having a harder time with this briefing than anybody else.
Tell Day, when
Yes.
it's time to speak one-on-one with you, Captain Jensen just sort of measures you to come sit, gestures for you to come sit back down, and immediately he looks up and goes, "You seem in awfully rough condition, Tell Day."
Yes, it has been a difficult period.
What exactly happened?
It was a longer journey than expected.
It was quite short by our measure. I expected you to be out there for months.
My friends have ways of getting places much quicker. It did not
Yes.
work out quite as well.
What, did you find yourself displaced?
Yes,
Where exactly?
in Sahar, in the desert.
And that is where you intended to be, though, no?
It is a large desert.
Ah, I see. Middle dunes, no object in sight.
It can be difficult to traverse, especially if you do not know the landscape.
Your companions all seem no worse for wear.
We were separated for a time.
Oh, that is an awful lot of damage for a few days alone in the desert.
It was an especially difficult period for myself.
Ah. And what, you encounter obstacles, problems?
Indeed. Combat. Difficulties.
You've ever a way of not saying things.
This is affirmative.
Uh-huh. Well, in that case, we shall carry on with the debrief. And he's willing to drop the subject and just go into talking to you about what happened, your side of the story.
I will continue to not lie to him.
And eventually it comes down to, so, that is where you found Hev Day. Now, the
Definitely when I said, yes, after the 10,000 years, shit, it's doing so well.
So the others mentioned that there was an altercation at Hev Day.
Correct.
Quite some damage, both to your group and him.
Most of them are quite recovered.
Yes. Now, the willingness for him to fight. How much do you think that was free will, and how much do you think was programming?
It is impossible to say. He has been under influence for some time. One could argue he was brainwashed, if not programmed.
Ah, so do you think there is still a threat from that?
I do believe that he will need time to process. I do not believe that imprisonment will assist this.
Well, I think you're aware that there is a very hard to define line between imprisonment and keeping someone safe and secure for their own benefit.
Yes, it is a fallacy.
Yes, it is a fallacy. But
this has been attempted with my people before.
And did we do wrong by them?
Yes.
Yes, we did.
Yes. They should have been released earlier.
Quite noted. So you think we should let him go now?
If it is necessary, he can be released into my recognizance.
There is some concern that you may be lenient beyond measure. That you might allow things you would not otherwise allow for people of your... well, not your kind.
And there is some concern that others will be harsher beyond what is required. For quite the opposite reason.
Yes, but one does not invalidate the other.
No.
So are you requesting that he be relinquished into your custody?
Yes.
Right. I assume you know what to fill out paperwork-wise for that?
It has been some time, but if I am provided with the paperwork, I will fill it out.
And he pauses, holding his quill above the paper before he actually sort of very deliberately moves it aside and sets it down and just crosses his arms a little bit. Outside of that, how do you think you will do with him?
I do believe that I can ensure he is not an enemy. I cannot guarantee he will be an ally.
I understand that he is the most heavily armed of you all.
Yes.
Most of your kind, they're just metal people. He is a walking tank.
Yes.
He likes it.
Do you think he would acquiesce to disarmament?
Most likely not, especially not full.
So you're telling me he enjoys being what he is?
He is a warrior. That is not possible to be denied.
He's not just a warrior, he's a weapon. Warriors can put their swords away.
But they cannot put away their training, the way they think about battle.
No, nor would we ask him to. But thinking about battle is far different from having a gun attached to you.
I cannot put up an argument to this. This is true.
He actually sort of runs his fingers over his face briefly. I'm not your enemy, Talday, and I want the best for all of your people. I hope you know how hard I have worked to try and get that. But he poses a problem.
Yes. I understand.
I have not always had the luxury of making decisions that are moral.
Neither have I.
We're going to run a psychic eval on him, and we will see where it goes from there. I'd like for you to try and get him to consider options. We don't have to force him, but it would make my job a whole lot easier.
I will certainly discuss it with him.
We can do very little about his strength. Frankly, I am not willing to even broach the subject of attempting another soul transference with your kind. We still know very little about the effects. But he's built in armaments. Something could be done about them. If he would acquiesce to that at the very least, we could probably see about having him released. To you or to Beacon amongst his own kind.
I will discuss it with him.
And he actually reaches back out for his quill, picks it up. And it's resuming the rest of the encounter then. And he basically just goes through the rest of the debrief. And before long, you're all done. Luswa, it's a little strange with you. He wasn't a particularly warm man amongst the group, and he seems colder still all the same when he talks to you. But respectful. He actually brings some extra paperwork that he asks you to sign if you are to be entering the city, and to confirm that you are not a part of the Noran military.
I'm looking at it, not part of the military, not crusade.
And whereabouts in Noran do you come from?
I don't know the name of the city offhand. Out of character, I haven't seen the map of Noran in like forever.
Okay, if you want to just,
but
small city.
It would be the current capital, but
okay.
Before it became the capital.
Okay. And how did you find yourself in Sahar?
I was part of the crusade.
Ah, so you're a churchman.
No.
Attached military force?
I was
noble contingent. What?
I was an attached military part of the attached military command. I left that command 10 years ago.
See. Then I may have some troubling news for you. With the pushback against the Crusades over there, I know both our government and I believe the Noranese government have been talking about measures against the church. Iron and Hevosian churches.
Well, I'm definitely not part of the church. If nothing else, I'm probably excommunicate traitorous.
That would do well if that is in fact the case. But if you're not listed as such, then you may face punishment when returning to your home.
Oh, I have no intention of going back. If I go anywhere, I'm going back to Saha.
Tell me, why did you leave the Crusade?
We were told a lie. A lie that became very obvious. I suffered blows. I stood in the way of harm. And I decided that the only way to stop the Crusade was to make their outsides match their clothes.
Very descriptive, but what was the lie you were told?
Hmm?
What was
Oh, that, we were going to stop a cult from worshipping a demon.
The goddess Hea, yes?
Yes. Just people worshipping what they believed to be a goddess. There was no proof of demon worship anywhere. Instead, what I saw were innocent people being dragged out of their homes, beaten, killed, maimed, enslaved, tortured, drowned, for fun.
Did you have any encounters with Baratheon forces over there?
Some.
Would you be willing to give me reports and testify against them?
It's been 10 years of continuous combat. Up
And
until about a year and a half
stick in
ago.
your mind.
Southern Coast, 6.5 years ago, there was, I think they called themselves the 7th Baratheon Dragoons. Mixed like light and heavy cavalry. They went through a small village, slaughtered every man, drug every woman and child out. Every male child was castrated and then thrown into a well. The women and children disappeared.
Do you have names of any of the bishops involved?
I don't know any of their names, but I know at least 3 of them didn't make it out.
Well, if you would do me the kindness of writing down everything you know, every incident.
That will take time.
We will have. I'm sure that I can do something for you in return.
All right. I'm listening.
You say you wish to return to Sahar.
Yes.
Oh. As I've mentioned, we have some limited contact with Sahar, but more importantly, we have contact with Noran. We have our own base of power here. We can make sure that there is no... You know how petty the church can be.
Oh, indeed. I'm still hunting one of their inquisitors. Should I ever find him, I will have a lovely day with him.
I can make sure that officially, at the very least, there are no crimes held against you and that there shall be no retribution.
Oh, I doubt they would ever give up the ability to come after me.
I suppose it will lessen their ability to do so.
Well, I will give you the information you're requesting, but in all likelihood, I will be gone before I'm complete, but I will still try to make sure it gets to you.
This is all I ask. Well, in Signage's forms, I am happy to release you into the city. Your bread will be kept stabled here. You are welcome to collect it at any point. But, you understand the weaponry or so on. We'll only hand back over when we know that you are leaving.
That is fine.
You are free to depart.
I thank you for your time, Captain Jensen.
He just sort of nods at you and resumes sort of scribbling on paper.
And Louis is going to walk out of the office and close the door and just...
And this is just me hoping Hevday doesn't go. And the angel that Telday brought with him.
Oh, yeah. Telday, after the debriefing, do you want to immediately go and try and find Hevday?
Yes.
They seem to be willing to let you.
That's kind of what I promised I would be doing, so, yeah.
Yeah. So you are led into familiar areas. You recognize a lot of the rooms that the Warforged were kept in previously. And you are led to what looks like to be a medical room. Just a little doctor's office where there is what looks like to be a Barassin artificer and a medical doctor standing there. The doctor's sort of scratching their head as the artificer is looking over Hevday. Hevday just sitting on a far too undersized little bed, which is bearing his weight in a terrible fashion.
It's
You can
trying
see the
so
metal
hard, though.
legs buckling, and he sort of nods at you as he sees you in the doorway. All day.
Yeah.
They tell me that I am in peak physical condition. That is not what I have said at all. You hear the artificer mumble under their breath.
Are you saying he is not?
I am
No,
just
I'm saying
off the
he
line.
is incredibly damaged. I don't know how he's even moving his left arm.
That would likely be Shaxson's work.
A small discomfort, nothing else. And he lifts his left arm, and there is a horrible scraping sound from within.
You lift slower that it probably falls to the floor. Out of the socket.
You see the artificer look up and go, "Please don't do that."
I don't know why, but I can hear Hevday just suddenly looking down at the arm and looking up at the artificer going, "'Tis only a flesh wound."
So, have you come to talk to me about my not imprisonment?
Yes.
Tell me, in what ways are they not holding me against my will?
They would like a psychological evaluation of you.
Yes,
They
sir.
also
Try to tell him
claim
that's why I'm here. The female doctor says.
they also claim that they may wish to hold you for your own good.
I would like to see them try. And
They would also like me to discuss options that would lessen their reservations to your leaving.
And what are these options?
Disarmament.
I am quite fond of my arms.
Ha ha.
Thank you,
ha,
FJ.
ha,
Thank
ha,
you.
ha,
I've been
ha.
waiting for that all day.
Brother, why are you not laughing?
It
It's just a
does
good
not
joke.
seem that there is much effort
It refers both
required
to my
before they
arms
fall
and
off.
my weapons.
The weapons, at least, yes.
That is what I meant. I am quite fond of them.
Yes, I'm aware.
Even if
But
my
they will
aim
not
is
release
shitty.
me if I am armed.
It would certainly make it easier for them to agree if you were not. They do not fully trust you.
Nor do I trust them.
They are afraid that you may attack, that you may be easily manipulated by an enemy, or that you may in fact be an enemy.
If they do not stop me from leaving, then I will not attack them. And you just see the doctor just go, "Oh God," under her breath.
What do you want?
To be free to find my own battles.
Against whom?
I do not know. I do not know what enemies lie outside.
For any cause?
No, for good cause.
How do you define?
A cause that brings great glory.
So like he's part of heaven.
For underdogs. Those that need to be risen up.
You raise me up.
Interesting.
He'd be perfect for the Goliath.
Being part of a vast military, he says, looking at the two military personnel beside him, there is no glory in that. They have arms, they have people, they have might. Who would they squash? That is who I would side with.
I do believe there are some who may wish to speak to you about that idea.
And he sort of turns his head to look at the doctor and goes, I do not mean that literally. Just because you would squash somebody means not mean I would be opposing you. But do you understand the gesture? And she's just writing on her little notepad, shaking her head. But who would you suggest, brother?
I know of many who could use the help. You could pay a debt to the country that you were in.
I owe them no debt. They created us against our will. They brought us into this world with the purpose for us to fight. They owe
This
us a
country,
debt.
this country created you.
Ah, you refer to the land we were in.
Yes.
There is merit to your words. The ones I was with have caused a great injustice. And I was part of that. A little horned girl. Who was she?
I cannot discuss that at this moment.
What about the black-clad one?
I am not entirely sure.
You have communication with a lot of strangely apparating people.
Quite.
So you think I should return to Sahar?
No, merely that is an option that could be considered. I told you, there is a greater battle that I am preparing for. I could certainly use your assistance.
Yes, you said there would be glory.
There will be.
Then, I will either convince them to release me from this place, or I will fight my way out, and I will join you.
It would be preferable if you did not fight.
Then they best release me.
That is what I hope to convince them. Would you accept a bond?
A bond.
Yes, temporary agreement that you would stay with me for a determined period. It
You
would
speak on
not
word
be
of honor, on legal matter, or of magical.
the first predominantly, the latter may be necessary as well.
I would have my own conditions, but I would consider it.
It is not my preference to go beyond spoken, but there may be requirements to ease them. Bloodshed is best to be avoided in this case. We do not need further enemies.
And that can be avoided quite easily. They simply have to release me. You have a way with words, brother. I am sure you can convince them.
I shall certainly try.
I believe in you, brother. You have already rescued me from one dastardly villain.
God, I forgot he had such a curly mustache.
I hated it. What is to become of the doctor?
That is undetermined at this time.
If they let him resume the program he started, I will lay waste to them.
I have warned of that path.
And you would join me.
If it is necessary.
Good. Okay, well, if your very concerning conversation is done, I'd like to lay him down and try and get him repaired, the artificer says, looking up.
I'm not sure how easily that could be done. Perhaps you could wave a treat in front of his face.
It would have to be quite the treat, brother. Uh-huh, right. Okay, I'm sure we'll figure this out somehow. Telday, right?
Yes.
Tell me, have any of your people, have they taken up their own medical profession? Treatment around amongst your own kind?
I do not know of any, but I am somewhat disconnected from them recently.
Well,
I can look into it.
No matter, I'll reach out for a contact at Beacon. You're not been there much.
It has been some time.
Well, I suggest maybe you check in with them.
That has been the intention. It is a home for more of us.
You understand the meaning of the name? The delightful irony of the name.
Yes.
Good. While they may not remember, they are still the people of Lalasil. It is good for them to be a beacon.
Some remember aspects.
And while she may be gone, we are not.
Yes.
That's right, make yourself look crazy for the doctor.
Good. In that case, I look forward to seeing you again, brother, and to hear of your marvelous convincing of my release.
Do avoid any violence with these people. They do not wish you ill.
Yes, I would not harm them. Now, repair my arm. And he sort of lays down on the bed, and the artificer shakes his head a little bit. All right, as you wish.
Well, I hope he is as good by half as ours.
Right. And as you leave your brother under the administrations of this artificer, you can hear your brother somewhat tauntingly speaking to him as you walk down the corridor.
Ow.
And then you also hear a as that bed finally gives out.
And then you hear the ow.
No, why did you do this to me?
I am surprised it took that long.
We're gonna see how they get later. The first thing she's gonna be like, "Who repaired you, an amateur?" He's gonna be genuinely insulted at the work.
Okay.
He had insufficient tools.
In little bits and pieces, you are all released out into the city. So, wish. Are you hanging around for each other? Are people going their own ways?
I'm waiting because I'm not sure if anybody needed a ride somewhere. Because Shaxon wanted to go to the airship.
Yeah, I need to take Telday to the airship to fix him.
Well, you can't take Telday to the airship because Telday's staying
currently.
away. But you wanted to go to the airship to do the thing, and then I'm going to pick Telday up the next day. So you wanted to go look at the
Actually, brief thing out of character. Could I have, when me and Telday were outside briefly, could I have, if Telday's okay with it, actually gotten the docent from him?
Yeah, if Telday's okay with it.
Yeah, if it is able to be removed at that
The debriefing
point, yeah.
quite some time, so you would have to dismantle him a bit, but you could have done it, yes.
Mm-hmm. That way then checks and work on that overnight. Well, Telday stays there.
How long does each debriefing take?
He keeps you in for about an hour each.
Okay. After Gibson's going in first, she's gonna toddle off to a nearby area and sing a song near somebody's house, and then toddle back.
Amazing.
She's not gonna go bother him, but she's singing a sweet little lullaby and then wandering off again.
Just seemed like, I swear to God, I thought I heard a song for a minute.
Yeah. Hey, that's actually good psychology to give him right now. He needs to know he's okay. Yeah, I'll do that quick because I'll have an idea about how long it takes. So, but I'll wait for everybody else front because Carrick and Shaxon are coming.
I mean, I'll be honest. I was filling mine out, so you and I probably are done about the same time.
So you will go on the brief walk with me while we're waiting for Shaxon, and then I guess we'll wait for the cat, and then I will take everybody over to the Temple of not Talon, Ilan. And
yes.
I caused a lot of rampant growth over there for a little bit while I got use a tree.
I mean, the guy's probably fine with it.
He's asleep. It's after 10 o'clock.
Yeah, by the time you guys get out, it's pretty late.
Yeah, so I'm just...
I mean, he wakes up in the morning, he's probably fine with it.
Yeah.
Alright, so you're leaving Telday behind?
Yeah, that's what he wanted.
Okay.
Telday told us he wanted to stay, right? He didn't want to come with, or was he coming with?
I said that don't wait up for me.
Alright, so I will
hold yourself up on
I
my
will
account, basically.
dink myself one more spell for the day and treat everybody out to the airship. And look visibly tired.
Alright, when you arrive on the airship, it's quiet above deck. You see one of the crew actually asleep at the wheel. Supposedly out here keeping watch, but they sort of landed,
It's
so
like
there's not.
Suddenly the sun arrives as Gifton is there.
Strange enough, they don't wake up.
Guys? Hello?
Allie?
We'll start checking on them.
And as you sort of move over to them, heading up onto that.
Toby,
Allie, if we were going back, did they allow me to take Tressa out of...
Yes.
Yeah, then I'm grabbing Tressa because I'm not leaving her on a foreign continent without me around.
I'm making the cat go through the portal first. Because, and second. I'm making the cats go first.
Yeah, as some of you move up the stairs to the sort of upper helm area, you can hear the crewmen snoring quite peacefully, just arms straight through those loops of the wheel. And as you come up the stairs, you can see a figure just sort of sitting down, seemingly drinking from a little mug they've got clutched in both hands. They are clad in incredibly bright clothing, lots of contrasting colours and patterns. Seems to be a sort of vague robe. And they are very dark-skinned, bald-headed, this male figure. stands up, quite tall, not Goliath levels, but quite tall. And they stand up as you approach, and in a sort of accent you've not really heard before, because usually is not good at very African-style accents. They kind of head towards you and go, "Oh, good. I was wondering when you would all show up."
I'm
Who are you?
sorry, I haven't had the pleasure.
No, you have not, but the pleasure is all mine. I thought it would be best to wait for you to approach here rather than try and broach the warding around you.
Gifton's eyes are getting a little darty, and she's taking a slow step
I ask
back.
again, who are you?
Yes.
I am Kefarel. I am the voice of Hevos.
Can we get spelling?
Well, we'll get
And
it.
what
I'm sure.
difference does Evos have with us?
Yeah, we'll get it eventually. So, yeah, you want that type of
Here you
support.
go. Hevos humbly requests a meeting.
Pleasure to meet you, sir. Now?
If it is of no... now would be best.
Oh.
I thought that'd be wonderful timing.
Who did you send that to?
Who's that going to, Tilde?
Oh yeah, that'll go to Gifton.
Okay.
Alright, wait. You son of a bitch. Hevos Angel jumped us at ship. Pray to... What's the fucking name?
Kefarel.
Alright, allow Kefarel access to you. There, that should work. I have just been informed by Telde that apparently he knew that we were going to be summoned by the gods. I look over at Carrick and Shax, and I don't look amused.
I'll be honest, I was not aware of this, but the timing does seem correct.
Alright, I have told him to give you access to him, Kefarel. If that will help you pass the warding.
It would. Well, I judge that you're all willing to come then.
I am.
Please do not be afraid. And there's a small smile on his face when he says that, as if, hey, gotta use that line.
Yeah, I'm an angel. I gotta use that line.
Yeah.
Be not afraid, right?
You are not in trouble.
I'm afraid of many things in life. I do not think the gods are counted among them at this
I
moment.
am Faye. I'm constantly in trouble.
Oh, I'm definitely in trouble.
No. You are not in trouble, Turncoat.
Well, I will-
Your faith may have drifted, but you are still loved.
I will bow slightly and go, I am Gifton Greysteel. This is Carrick Marsk. This is
I know
Shaxton.
who you are.
Ah, yes, but necessities. I was just trying to be polite.
My father will appreciate that. Well then, I will take you. And he steps forward, and you actually see these white wings sprouting out from his back as he moves forward. And they sort of stretch and flex a bit as if he's unused to using them. And
Then grandmother will be very unhappy with this.
I kind of look at his wings and quietly measuring my own wings.
Yeah, if you stretch them out a bit more, maybe.
Yeah, they'll flare them out.
Yeah. I will collect your friend first. And there's that sound of fluttering wings. And Tilde. This very colourful figure appears in front of you. And then the lights in the base go red. And you hear alarms starting to go off.
Yes, I would have advised her not to send you here quite yet.
It is of no concern. If you will take my hand.
Well, this is all going on and he's gone. I'm sending Merrick to the food.
Is it the food room?
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
am.
I'm also looking at Gifton going, you may want to, just as a precaution, maybe send Dingus also.
Oh, Dingus
Time.
protects me.
Time.
Ali, I'm using that last sending I had to Trill.
There you go.
Pavos
Okay.
wants us to... Oh, okay. I thought you said Pavos wants to speak with Pavos.
Angels.
Did you say time totally?
Yes. How does
Yeah.
it move?
Forward.
At the same rate.
As far as I have ever experienced it, yes. The Immortan angels may argue.
I hope this is quick then.
It all depends. And he holds his hand out to you.
I will take it.
Right, there's that disconcerting jolt as you appear on the deck of the airship. He does not release your hand, simply reaches his out to the rest of the group. Link hands.
I will take his hand and then take Carrick's hand.
Gifton link hands with Carrick and offer his hand out to Louis.
Gifton is getting as far away from the cat as possible in the hand linking.
Are we going to
I will link hands, and then I'm going to put my hand on Tressa's back.
Your other companion. I cannot see him.
He is dealing with things of his own matters. I do not think you will be able to reach him at this time. We are unable as well.
We have most of you. That is all that is needed. And there is another jolt as you all move. You immediately land in what seems to be grass. Comes up to about below your knee. Seems rather dry, like coloured, not the usual vibrant green that you're used to. Looking around you, it seems to be sunrise maybe here, wherever you are. That or sunset, but it feels like it's getting warm. It feels like sunrise to you. It's quite a beautiful...
Kefir hand loose when we get through. Politely.
It's
not ripping it away.
Quite a beautiful sky. And you seem to just be near a strangely slanted tree. It's got a very wide top to it that just covers and shades a small area of this strange grass ground. And you hear horses. And as you turn around, it seems to be just a small little branch of sorts. Doesn't quite appear to ranches, you know, but you can see penned horses. And there is a figure clad in quite vibrant colours once again. Not a robe this time, but a sort of cut jacket and these long pants. He's got a cap on, a sort of squat round cap of the same colours. Seems to be the same material as the rest of his suit. And he's currently just brushing a horse. He's dark skin colour once again, quite a bit taller than the angel that's just delivered you. And you see him just putting down a brush and patting the horse on its neck before he turns towards a group of you.
Gifton's hand is trembling in yours, Carrick.
Thank you all for coming to see me.
It's a little squeeze. And...
Please, come, sit. I have refreshments.
I will respectfully.
And he actually has a blanket laid out on the ground, quite a large one. And there just seems to be, a little pot on resting on the blanket, some arranged cups. I thought perhaps just a refreshment. No need for a grand meal.
Thank you for the consideration.
That is probably well. It is quite late.
And he actually moves over and sits himself down and just seems to wait for you all to come settle.
Carrick's gonna sit on down.
Gifton's gonna sit down next to Carrick.
Jax will Coming soon as well.
Kind of quietly using Carrick as a slight body block. Like, not totally, but kind of maybe behind Carrick a little bit.
Anyone not seating themselves?
Willie Swat is not going to seat himself, but he's going to do a kneel in front in Sahal fashion.
You actually get a little glance from him when you do that, and his lips upturn slightly, and he picks up the little pot and starts to actually pour drinks for you all. You know who I am.
What have us correct?
Correct. And I know who you are. You are quite the topic of discussion amongst my siblings. And quite beloved by my daughter.
She's kind of wonderful.
There's a small nod of his head as he sets the pot down and picks up his cup. Tell me, how is she doing?
She's upset. She's been hurt a lot of times. And I don't know if she thinks she has a lot of people she can rely on.
Do you know how I have brought you here?
You're not gonna kill us, are you?
No.
Okay, so I was gonna say there's a lot easier way to do it than bringing us up here.
Yes. There are many discussions about your purpose, your roles, about whether we should be working with you or against you. But ultimately, I see a purpose in you all. How do I make amends with my daughter?
You have to just start little things at first.
Contacting her.
Apologizing.
Yes.
A meaningful apology is probably a good starting point.
She does not even want to be in the same room as me.
Send a letter.
Given you're one of the ones responsible for the anyway, I cannot blame her on that response.
But you're never put into a timeout by your own parents.
Is there a difference between timeout and being sealed away, your powers taken because someone else decided you were a danger?
Not really. Not for us.
Whatever you can convince yourself of to justify it.
I think
It
the
is still a
problem
parent
is
turning on their child.
you are a parent trying to correct your daughter, right?
Yes.
She lived in fear of what was going on with her. It may have been time out, but I don't know if she knew you still loved her through all of that. It's
She also,
hard for children when they don't know you're trying to do something to teach them something, but I don't think she agrees with what you're trying to teach her.
Well, I do not think you really understand our way of seeing things and the lengths we are used to. I suppose you are correct, and she is but a child and may not understand it either.
I also know that your group has been fearful of things before and responded harshly. And you can't imagine that somebody would feel loved and comforted by being imprisoned using the body of a god that the others had killed before. She was left down there for a horrible amount of... I can see even vaguely what some of the keys were for, but they were
during which time
cruel.
And during which time people in your name ravaged her lands and killed her people.
Yes.
It went too far. And
It is hard to judge what is right when it has never happened before. We never had child God before.
no,
And I did what I thought was best, not just for us, but for her.
no, and I can even see that in some of the terrible lessons those keys were trying to teach. Like what Scrim had to do to his own kids and what was gonna happen to me. And it's, if you want to make it right by her, you have to be willing to listen to her. She can't always be the one in the wrong. Sometimes if she's hurt, it's valid. She's upset. Help her find the better paths, but let her know that you're on her side still. She's your daughter. And I think she loves you and Mairi very much, and I think you matter a lot more to her than she lets on.
Also remember that even though you have lived longer than her, does not mean that something she has found new is not better than what has been the norm.
You speak of how she helped her people.
Children test boundaries. It's what they do. And sometimes she's going to need to make mistakes and learn from them. You have to let her fall down sometimes.
And what was this if not a mistake and learning from it?
I think it was a mistake for everybody, and you're all going to hopefully learn from it.
Yes.
I would speak on your behalf to her, but I don't know if you'd want me to do that.
What do you know of my nature, girl?
I have read some religious texts about you, sir.
You know
More
what
than
I
most Fae.
what I represent.
Mm-hmm.
Then you understand the struggle I have with my own nature.
Mm-hmm. And I also understand that one of the most important things to you from your strictures is your family. Right?
Yes.
And
And right now, my daughter hates me. My beloved will not speak to me. And I am trying to understand. This is about my nature that has led me astray.
well, that's sounds like you are already making the right paths because you're questioning what you've been doing and not blaming it on other people. That's a very noble thing, sir.
But then I also wonder, did I do right? I cannot be only flaws.
No. But the universe isn't black and white like that. It's not just I am doing good and I'm only good. I am doing bad sometimes when I'm doing good. It's all gray.
What about you, the one who turned from me into my daughter? Is looking straight at you, Louisois.
Louisois hasn't touched the drink. You proclaim justice. I saw no justice in Zaha. I saw only evil.
You know the directive that was given to my followers.
What I was told was we were there to stop the worship of a demon. There was no demon to be had.
What I
Instead,
told my high priest some 70 years ago was to make sure that her people did not release her too soon. That was my
Well-
directive. That was my holy word.
then if that was your holy word, he got it wrong horribly because they were in the way they were going to wipe out those people.
Oh, I am to be held responsible for the decisions of the people beneath me.
People hold
Did
you
you send?
for responsible for the decisions of free will because it was done in your name, because you are a god. And it's not fair, but it's what happens.
And
Did you send further directives? Did you send your angels or anything to intercede to stop them from what they were doing, or did you just let it run its course?
I sent angels to check up on what was happening.
Did you send them to intercede, not check up?
No.
Fault by inaction is still fault.
What's your tone with me, please?
And sometimes, as we have learned, us mortals do not always understand the messages we have been sent by those who think differently than we, with a far shorter outlook on
No.
existence.
And while his tone is full of disrespect, his words are not entirely wrong, he says, turning his gaze away from Jackson. I must take some responsibility for what the absence of the right words has caused. But it seems hypocritical of me to punish her for her interference with her kind when I am to suggest that I am to be more involved with mine.
She wants what is best for her people, same as I'm sure you want the best for yours.
I want my people to achieve their best through their own action.
Her heart beeps at the pain of others. Her love for them is incredible. And they are very lucky to have that. But yeah, maybe she coddles them a bit. But she wants them to do well. She doesn't want to see children crying or hurt. And I don't think anybody does. And
When she got out of hand, when she struck, and there is a look of sadness on his face for a moment, against my sister, against Morgani, her people. We thought about what we were, thought about the just punishment. We have existed for a long time. A punishment for her seemed like a minute, significant amount. But it was too much. I see this now.
Out of character.
Mhm.
Because we'd had discussions about what happened.
Mhm.
Was there any discussions that any of the stuff that seemed that Heya was directly attacking Hexenray? Well,
think-
Con becomes Hexenray.
She did after the stuff you guys left behind.
Yeah,
Until
okay,
they
so
was
direct-
around during the period where she retaliated.
Okay, she did. That's why I wasn't sure if she did directly or if we were just sending forces.
think
That,
so.
She thought the old Draconic Empires had attacked her, and she retaliated.
okay, so she did directly. That's what I was curious about. Okay.
I think, sir, there is some varying degrees here. She had told me that she was sent away because of her sphinxes.
That is part of the truth.
So there were multiple things, and it is hard to discipline a child if they don't know what they did wrong.
She is correct.
And I don't think she understood very much what she did wrong. And the fact that she felt right giving retribution against Morgani for what she perceived as a slight and attack on her land and her people. And
Morgani attested her innocence. You should have listened to her elder.
But did you hear your daughter out? Or was it just assumed that Morgani would be right?
I suppose not.
Because her people did have something happen to them. And she was right to be upset. I don't think she should have gone to the level she should have. She should have been tempered. She should have been walked through a proper check of what happened. Because it was mortals against mortals. It was not a god striking another god until Hea was raised, right? Until she was riled up. And she maybe did need to know that she needs to have a delicate touch working through it with the mortals to resolve it. That would be the appropriate way to handle such a thing, I would think. And this is all new to her, too. You and the other gods have had so much time to figure out and agree upon why you do things the way you do them, and she wasn't there when you decided this was the best course of action.
You may have assumed too much of her.
Did you and your siblings have falling outs like this towards the beginning?
A few. No, it's never...
Escalated?
No, it escalated plenty. But there was never such a imbalance in us. You are aware of how powerful my daughter is.
Yes.
Yes.
And you should be so proud of her. I know that's scary when your kid...
Please do not misunderstand. I have nothing but love and pride for her.
I know.
She is the very best of her mother. And...
the best of you as well, sir.
the worst of me.
No. She has
I look at
passion.
her and I see...
she has drive.
One's own worst critic is often themselves.
You will find it is often quite the opposite. I am quite aware of my flaws. They are part of my nature. It's hard for us. We are, by our very nature, unchanging beings. We are not... I do not choose to be proud. I do not choose to be noble. It is what I am.
But
and yet she is different.
She's not as much a aspect of a thing as much as a...
She makes me think more of your kind than ours, and that was terrifying.
I mean, in some ways, I guess...
I think she feels closer to us in a way.
She is also a creation of the gods, just as we were creations of the gods. A different method, but a similar possible result.
I would speak with her on your behalf, sir.
You are great kindness in not making me ask.
I would never ask you to ask that, sir.
But that is the problem, is it not? I am too proud to ask.
The person you need to ask is the person you shouldn't feel any shame asking, because it is family.
He puts his cup down before he turns on this blanket that he's sitting on, and actually gets into a position quite similar to Louis Soir, kneeling on his knees, much in the Saharan fashion. And he puts his hands down on his lap, and then he tilts his head forward a bit and goes, "I would ask you to speak to my daughter on my behalf, to tell her that I am sorry, that I ask for her forgiveness, if not now, but maybe one day, to give me the chance to make amends."
I nod. Sir,
I believe we can.
I do have one message for you. Not from your daughter. Gibson has tears running down her eyes, out of her eyes suddenly. Wallace will forgive you?
Thank you for visiting me.
Thank you, sir, for the honor.
Kefarel, take them home. And he stands up and gives you all a very small little nod, returning and walking back over towards his little gathering of horses. And the angel, who is standing at a respectful distance, walks on over.
As I get up and bow respectfully.
Carrick will also stand and bow.
Jax will stand and give a curt bow.
Thank you, great God, have us for the conversation and the drinks.
If you're ready to depart, I will take you now.
Louis stands up and just turns and whistles for Tressa.
Tressa was not brought along.
Oh, she's gonna be pissed.
Mm-hmm.
You getting up today?
Yeah, I'll get up.
Once again, hands are linked, and within a few moments you find yourselves back on the deck of the airship. Angel releasing hands and giving you all a respectful nod.
Kefarel,
Yes.
you are welcome to visit me at any time.
I appreciate that.
I will bow my head respectfully, so that you don't have to worry about getting past wardings.
That invitation extends to myself also.
Thank you. Your crewman should awake soon enough.
Oh, they've been asleep.
Are you the last, or would the others be sending their own emissaries?
You should receive an individual emissary for the whole group of gods. This was an informal pre-meeting with my lord.
I am guessing sub 1.
If I was to guess, I think perhaps it will be Talan sending an emissary to collect you all. Hopefully there will be no issue, as the Lady Hea will be informed of this gathering.
Hopefully there will not be any stained glass.
I hope she will understand that we are not feeling threatened, and we would like her presence as a friend, if it is allowed.
Indeed, friends of gods. I bid you all a good, and his eyes gaze up briefly, as if taking in the change of day.
Dawn. Day.
Whatever the most relevant time is for you.
I don't know
What
what that
time
is
actually is the
anymore.
airship?
I've been on one half the world the other today.
And we're probably halfway
Captain's on the
between-
airship with us right now, right?
Yeah.
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 You want another?
Jax,
Another.
she was saying, you may want to return our friend back to Vindendal. I believe you have things you have to take care of there.
I can return.
It would be
We-
my honor to take you home.
No, why don't we do that, sir? You might upset some people.
Yes, I can get him.
Yes, I did set off some of your alarms.
Yes. Are you
The
ready
looks
to go back?
amused.
Are you ready to go back till day?
Yes, I probably should. I may need to explain to them what happened.
This is Carrick's turn to go. My spell slots.
I has no spell slots.
To be
Fine.
fair, we could just use the angel. He's
They can take
already
it home.
set
They
the
bear
alarm
very little
off.
threat to me.
It may be more discussions than time warrants, possibly. For Tell Day.
Gifton gives a slight roll of her eyes. Archangels.
He already caused the initial difficulty. It will likely not cause substantially more.
And perhaps I can offer a word of apology.
That may be disconcerting.
I think
And
you
I
should
shall
go
leave
for it.
immediately after.
Oh.
There's not just our stuff could happen.
We're supposed to just summon a cherub to do it for you.
It wouldn't be bad, you know. Well, never mind. All right. Goodbye, Kefrael.
And he nods his head towards you all for reaching out, touching Telday's shoulder. And Telday, you return to the military base, where those alarms are still going off. You can hear the hurried footfalls of people down the corridors. Kefrael looking around curiously. You take such alarm of one of my kind coming here.
We're so
You are powerful. You are a potential threat.
totally hearing this from Tom.
I cannot say that is untrue, but they should have very little concern if they are just beings.
Man, it's a good thing I don't remember what you fuckers did to this city once before, eh?
I bid you good day. And perhaps we will see each other again.
It would be interesting to converse.
And he nods to you, and with that, he is gone, a fluttering of wings.
Go find somebody that I can bother.
You can actually find Captain Jensen. He wanted to go home, but somebody
Like
set an alarm off.
lockdown, alarms.
Yeah.
May I ask why there is an alarm going off?
Some of our wardings went off incursion. We doubled up on our detection methods after the Fae incident. We warded against fiends, Fae, celestials, all manner of things.
Such as angels.
Yes. Not that that's the particular likely happenstance, but you need to be prepared for everything these days.
So was it a singular incursion or multiple?
I'm not sure the senses aren't that delicate to be able to pick things up. You need to be able to just find it.
So you would not know if one angel had arrived, left, and then came back.
He pauses. Brother, are you telling me that an
You
angel
may
arrived
want
there?
to end your alarm. Yes.
For goodness sake.
Oh, fucking little shit, and I am here for it.
Yeah.
Zelda is such an ass.
Don't worry, we're just gonna start getting. Oh God, why are they here this time?
And he starts shouting at people and then walking off. He's apparently quite annoyed, but soon enough the alarms do shut down.
He's
the
expecting another debriefing later.
Yeah. As Telday, you are once again left in this not entirely welcoming place. It's strange, barely memorable to you, but there are little hints, little glimpses of your people being here. So long ago. Back on the airship.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
The helmsman. There's this thing. Oh, my neck. Oh god. Oh god.
Hi.
That does not look like
I was awake.
He drove. He drove right past Saha.
What?
Yeah.
No, it ended. What? What's happening?
If you wanted to sell that, you should have Mirage Arcane fucking...
I could have.
have...
Don't tempt me. I have the spell slots. I can do it.
Tempting you.
Don't tempt me. I have hallucinatory.
Don't tell the
terrain.
captain I fell asleep, please.
No, it's okay. The whole ship fell asleep, but you were wide awake.
I was?
Yeah.
I mean, yes, I was.
You were here when we came through the tree, and you were wide
Wait,
awake,
what
and everything was so quiet.
I don't fall asleep.
It's okay. You were accosted by an angel. It touched you. I'm gonna pat him. This man's going to need some place to stay. I'm gonna jerk a thumb at Luis.
Griffin?
Yeah, I don't know what you're doing with that. Go into my room.
Does his...
Are we landed in Zaha?
The last time I saw a griffin, those Noran bastards charged us and tore one of the men in half. That's beaks. Fish.
Hi.
Are we in Zaha? Looking over the side.
Shax.
We are landed in Zaha.
Or Zaha. Are we in Zaha? Yeah, are we in Zaha? Oh, well, we finally got here. Good.
Yes, Garrick.
Would your thing you did to his lance still be active?
It is currently, yes.
Wait. Was that a Noran accent?
Yes.
Oh, no offense meant, but, I mean, you bastards really did tear into us.
It has been a very weird...
When?
Oh, about 10 years ago. Small skirmish.
Where?
I think it was outside of a town called Feri. I don't know.
Do I know the name that he's trying to pronounce?
It could be many number of names, to be
It's
fair.
Lekwele Katos.
It was a border skirmish.
What's that?
There was a border skirmish. Some dispute on whose town was whose.
Oh, this was over in Barras or over here in Saha?
The rest.
Oh, then I'm not worried about it. I've been over here.
Just for shits and giggles, I'm gonna start speaking in a Norandian accent. I mean, many can speak like that if they want.
Yeah, but I know you're not one.
I mean, I have heard they might be. My family might have been from Noran at one point.
Oh, well, I mean, can't hold you accountable for all your sins.
Yes, you can.
I mean, many will hold other things for me against me for sins. I'm glad that is not one of them.
Listen, I'm gonna go pray to a goddess. Anybody want to join me? Feel free. It's probably gonna be a conversation.
We'll come on.
Oh, by the way, I let Trill know that we had gone to visit.
Oh, that's not good. You're gonna rile her. God,
Trill knows better when to speak about something.
Ryle who?
Hmm.
I don't think Trill has that much ability.
Dumb cat.
Remember, this is the first time he has encountered any of these people.
Literally stays in a...
Shax is just going to, as he's heading that sort of just clap blue silently. You're going to learn many wonderful and terrible things in the next 24 hours, I'm afraid.
Since we are going down, may it be best to... Well, we're here, we might as well use our base, right?
That is what I was intending.
Alright, well, Shax, do you want to join us in this, or are you wanting to just start working on that doohickey you have there?
I would quite like to get Tilde's friend back up and running.
I'm gonna actually look, Louis,
And I do not believe me and the goddess are on the best of talking terms at the moment.
if you, wish, I'm guessing your friend there will probably fit in the
Hold.
bay. And I believe there is a side door now that we are down that can be opened. I think.
Tessa, meanwhile, is using her beak to try and pry up a part of one of the railings on the ship.
No, bad!
No.
That.
I'm looking over as I'm shooing her away from the railing. I'm looking over the side.
I'm
to
using
see
the
where
only
we are.
defense I know that works on cats. I'm creating water over over Tressa.
Here you go.
No, I'm creating water.
Okay, well,
Bad
Tessa
kitty.
actually fluffs up and you see the feathers sort of puff a bit, and she starts sort of preening into the water.
Remember, she's
You-
part bird.
You have no idea how to deal with a griffin, do you?
Well, let me just.
Oh, I know how to deal with a griffin. It's just keeping it alive's the problem.
Yes. I also want to just remind her she is not the largest thing on this ship. And he gives just a grin.
What was that, Blackie? I can barely hear you.
Just make sure she understands if she is going to try to disassemble this, she is not the largest thing on this ship.
She's probably bored.
Give her some branches or something to chew on. Actually, no, leave my tree alone.
The griffin is actually looking at you now, Gibson, and there's that sort of little beak chattering, little chirping at you. The feathers puff up again.
Shake head. Behind Carrot.
I really want more water.
Can you insight animals? Or is it
yes,
else?
with a high DC.
Okay. Is 31
Yes, you
high
really
enough?
like that water. She wants more.
She actually enjoyed that. Well, he or she, I actually don't know if
I'll splash her again. Splash.
And there's some excited sort of pitter-patter of griffin feet as she's happily wiggles
She hasn't
about.
had water in a while. She's been in Zaha for a while.
Just like a gifting going, kind of like befriending Plop, just in a different method. Yes, I know.
And then Louis, you are getting rubbed against by a very wet griffin.
And see, you're probably making. I'm gonna do this in Sylvan.
I smell great tomorrow.
And you're probably making him unhappy, so for you it's double.
Gonna wave the hand up in the air again. Casting this on Louis and the griffin.
As you once again douse the griffin and by proxy the cat, that is where we're going to end this week's session.
Take that, kitty.
Right. Everybody take 3,000 XP, and we'll do this same time next week.
Yay.
3,000. Oops. Oh shit.
Well, I don't think I'm hitting Artificer 20.
Are you going for the other thing?
You offered the one thing I really wanted on checks to begin with.
Nice. The one level of it.
Well, also remember, I will allow rebalancing of levels if you mod a class. So
Yeah,
Nice.
I was probably gonna nick out a couple levels of Artificer, make it 16 and 3.
Can we get piety?
yes, everyone takes 1 piety.
Yay. 47.
Any Helosian worshippers will get 2.
Yay!
Yay.
Do I lose because I had this inkling to want to punch a god?